was Spain?
It was great. The locals are a bit mad. They go crazy for football.
And they do the weirdest things to bring their team good luck. Kids sign up as club members before they can even walk. They'd rather be late for a wedding than miss a game.
And you know what? They don't just watch the game. They feel it.
People cry when they lose, but they cry even more when they win.
The most incredible thing, it's totally contagious. It's like when you watch a match.
Hey, vamos amigo!
You become one of them. That can't be football. That's got to be something else.
Moi Stadium in Kisumu, it is time for the top-tier league to come to an crowning of the champions. It is sweltering heat in Kisumu, I can tell you that. And there will be some water breaks. That is information that has already come to us. It is the champions who are at home, but are the champions home? Based on their recent run of form in the league, I can tell you this, they have fallen short. 3 losses to Vihiga, Ulinzi, and of course, Postal Rangers, if I'm not wrong. Get to that in just a second. Couple with cup losses to the likes of AUSM Algiers and that penalty shootout loss to Kariobangi Sharks. Gor Mahia have not won a football game since August. Let that sink in. They're up against a rather rejuvenated Mathare United. All right, your thoughts on this day in which the champions will be crowned, and we'll find out whether they'll be good enough for that crown. The fans are expecting them to give a better performance than their last few games simply because the stories of no payment has been sorted out. Hashtag the official KPL, that is, or rather at the official KPL, that is our Twitter handle. Share your thoughts on this. With me here to share their thoughts on this particular game is Jacob Ghost Mule and my main man Chipo. So Chipo and Chico and Ghosts at the touchline. Gentlemen, starting off with you, Ghosts. Big game, big opportunity for the champions to, well, rectify a few wrongs that they've done for their fans.
Sweltering heat. It's not going to be easy to play here. I need some water already. I think this is a very interesting game because Mathare has been a very difficult team for Gor Mahia to beat in recent times. But being the champions, and I think today they parade the real champions because they've been playing with the squad here and there. They have not had their first 11 in a long time. I think today Kerr is going to parade his first 11, and that gives it a very, very good encounter because Mathare also are looking for points to finish in a respectable position.
Respectable position indeed. They've done so much better than they did last season, Chipo, haven't they? Now here's the question for you. Yeah. Like I said, the champions are at home, but are the champions home? Based on their recent form, no. Do you think they are home today?
Basically, they are playing at home, but in terms of playing football on the pitch, I don't think they're at home. Losing 4 games consecutively is not something easy for the champions. And I think today they need to come up with a performance to reward their spectators in terms of bagging the 3 points from Mathare.
Last time they lost 3 games in a row, you'd have to go back to 6 and possibly a half years ago. 2012, that's when they lost 3 consecutive league games. They've done that now, and their latest loss will be one that they will quickly want to forget against the Vihiga side that, you know, wasn't expected to beat them. Thika United up against Chemelil. That one ended in favor of Chemelil, which in turn ensured Wazito were relegated. Chemelil still in with a shout. They will have to fight for a playoff place. Bandari and Sofapaka played out to a 1-1 draw. Remember, that game had been postponed earlier on. So this is how the table is. Gor Mahia champions, Mathare United in 46th place goes. 46 points in 8th place goes. Better performance than last season.
I think Kimanzi has done well with Mathare United. In the beginning of the league, at one time, they topped the log. However, I think with a very young squad, they have fumbled a little bit. But looking at what he has done coming to position 8, last year, there was somewhere lingering around 15, 13 there. This is a good performance.
Bottom half of the table, Chemelil, that victory, Chipo, did them a world of good, didn't it? But then it also well, put the last nail in the coffin for Zito.
It's true. Already Wazito and Thika United are relegated. And Chemelil, Nakumat, Rangers, Vihiga, they're all fighting for who plays in the playoffs. So the 3 points that Chemelil acquired will do them a good in terms of remaining in the Premier League.
Absolutely. So it is Chemelil, Nakumat, Poster Rangers, all the way up to Zug Kericho, who can be able to survive. Here are your fixtures for today. Gor Mahia up against Mathare United, Ulinzi Stars and AFC Leopards. Zoo, Thika United. Plenty of football goals coming our way.
Well, all the teams are playing apart from two. And looking at these results, I mean, somebody who has already been relegated. I think Bandari, they have consolidated their position number 2. They face Wazito, who are already relegated. And then Ulinzi Stars against AFC Leopards. Another game of big interest, if it's true that Leopards have already fired their coach. Now, I don't know if Tom Juma is a standing coach, because this is a very important game to see life after Zabata.
Well, they say it's suspension, but we know what that means when it comes to this league, don't we, Chipo? Now, look, Zukericho up against Thika United. Their next game is Gor Mahia, Zukericho, and then they wrap up with a away game to Tusker.
United, for Thika United, it's all over. Maybe Zoo are trying to find the points to avoid the third playoff. But to me, I think Vihiga versus Kariobangi Sharks is a cracker today.
All right, so why don't we talk about the champions? As Ghost has already alluded, they have a full squad at their disposal. Earlier during the course of the week, the issues, Ghost, of money and the go-slow have been sorted by their chairman.
Well, it's an African problem, because even South Africa, I think there's a team that didn't also have, they didn't pay their players. Now, it's not new. However, having solved their problems, it looks like they have had a training session, because the last 3 or 4 games they played, it was not even about the training session. It's who's going to turn up for the game. But this being a very important game, the trophy is going to be awarded here. I think Kerr will have no excuse at all.
And if they want to make a statement to the rest of us, their fans, the critics, pundits, opponents, and the rest of Africa, they have to make a statement with this squad, and that's what they're pretty much doing in their, well, last few SportPesa Premier League fixtures.
It's a good squad, considering the game against Viga. They have made about 5 changes, and I do believe he's parading the strongest team at the moment, and it's a team that I do believe will do good in the afternoon and get the goals for Gor Mahia and take them back to where they have been. Winners.
They haven't won that game. It would be vital for them to get those goals and possibly win this game, but it will also be interesting to see just how close Tuisenge can come with 3 games to go, including this one in that race for the Golden Boot.
Well, he has 13 to his credit. If he can score 2 today, then he doesn't become the top scorer, but he has an opportunity because they still have some games to play. But looking at the goalkeeping issue, that is where I think things have changed for Gor Mahia.
I traveled with Boniface. He was in the same flight. Of course, his injury problems, but in his place, a keeper has really come out, hasn't he, Peter?
Well, the youngster, Peter Odhiambo, has taken over the #1 jersey at Gor Mahia. Shaban Odoji did very well in the SportPesa Cup in Nakuru. However, after the game against Rayon, this boy has come up big. He was Kenya under-20 international, so he has already grown in stature, and I think he takes the #1 slot, not because Bonnie is injured. Even when Bonnie comes, he has to fight for his place.
It's that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When you get that opportunity, like you wait for your turn, Chipo, and you do get it, you stake a claim, and it's hard to dislodge you. That's the story here.
But he has the potential. He is a very good goalkeeper. He's been there. He's been in City Stars. We've seen what he's capable of doing, and I believe he stays in the Gor Mahia's goalkeeper for a long time.
And there's no question as to who will be key for them going forward. They have a fantastic midfield, don't they, Gor Mahia? But up front, as a golden boot chasing striker, Jacques Tuyisenge, Chipo.
He needs to come up and live to his expectations today. He needs to score. As much as he's chasing the golden boot, he has 13 goals, as Brother Gusa said. But I do believe he's not scored for a while. So maybe today in the afternoon will be one of those occasions that he resurfaces again on the scoring sheet.
That's interesting. He should bring that up. How much of an effect do you think Mehdi Kagere's absence has had on this?
Well, it was a good partnership, the two of them. However, after Mehdi left, there was a big problem in terms of combination play up from. But I think Tuisenge has been money's worth because he has scored locally, he has scored international, so he's been a good money for Gor Mahia.
All right, so that's Jacques Tuisenge. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on Peter Odhiambo, who will be in between the posts for Gor Mahia. And we turn our attention to the team that will try and keep the mighty Gor Mahia a bit silent. They could probably be defined as the consistently inconsistent side of this team. Good start to the season, Vihiga, Nzoia, and then 4-game winning streak against Sony, Dakuma Tusker in March and April. After that, they've managed only 4 wins in 22 league matches. That's a disappointing run of form for your friend, Francis Kimanzi.
Yeah, but I think there are things that are not being said out here that are very internal in terms of Mathare, in terms of maybe salaries, money issues, and that's why their form has been dipping. But I do believe with the recent resurgence, they might finish up with a bang.
They might finish up with a bang. I'm just looking at the table now. No chance of a top 4 finish, and this is 2009 is the last time that Mathare United finished in the top 4. What is this starting 11, which has been a very key, integral starting 11 for him in 2018, good enough to finish in the top 4?
They won the league 2008. That's the best performance for them. Now, Job Ochieng starts in goal. When you look at the team, Kimanzi is a very reserved coach. He maintains his first 11. If he has to make a change, maybe 1 or 2. But looking at that squad, clearly is a squad that will give Gor Mahia problems.
Coach, very interesting. I want us to focus on one person here, and we can start off focusing on him because we'll also hear from Coach Kimanzi on his thoughts on him. Against Tusker, he was criticized a bit for his performances in that 2-2 draw, and then followed that up with a fantastic performance against Poster Rangers. Ochieng has a job to do today.
Ochieng has a job to do.
A job, Ochieng. I know. I'm glad you saw what I did there.
Yeah, considering initially I was his coach in the under-20 team, he has matured nicely, and I do believe he's going to become the permanent goalkeeper in the team of Mathare, because Mathare has been having a problem in terms of goalkeeping.
Is it that big a problem?
Goalkeeping is a very important department, and the youngster showed a lot of guts, and this is a game that is going to propel him to either higher heights or destroy his confidence, but I think he's up to scratch.
All right, 22 goals, I think, between Wanga and Nyakaya. The two of them are banging in the goals for Mathare United, but Chipo, you want to focus on that attacking winger.
Clifton
Nyakaya.
He's been very instrumental this year. He has 12 goals to his credit. He's a very versatile player on the right flank, attacking and scoring. And he's also a potential Golden Boot winner, considering if he comes on to form today.
This youngster, I think he should be in the Harambee Stars squad. Watching many of his games that he has played, either he has been able to use individual prowess to be able to go through most of the opponents, or even giving assist. And even when Mathare is losing by a solitary goal, he comes in and be counted. So I think he is a man that Gor Mahia back 4 will have to look at.
How do you deal with him if you're Gor Mahia? Because to be honest, let's face it, Mathare don't have the threat that Gor Mahia have. Mathare don't have the threat that Gor Mahia have, so it would be easier to deal with just one threat, would you think?
Not quite. I mean, Mathare have a number of players. Clifford Alwanga is also there. They have Nyakea. But Nyakea, the good thing about Cliff Nyakea is that if he's not scoring, he's dangerous to bring in crosses from either left or right side of attack.
Coach, what are your thoughts on your expectations in this particular game?
I think Mathare can run away with it, considering the performances that Gor Mahia has been posting. But they need to work hard for it.
Quizzical look on your face. Do you agree?
No, I think Gor Mahia will pick it. It's their last game at home. They have the trophy here. To lose when the trophy is in front of your fans, I don't think Gor Mahia will be in a position to let it go.
I don't think the fans will be in a position to forgive them if they do let it go. But according to Chipo here, 2 coaches by my side, one coach says, Mathare United. The other one says, come on, they're home, trophies here, fans are expectant, give it to Gor Mahia. I don't know. It's not an easy one to predict. Gor Mahia, 3 losses in a row. They're pretty much an Oprah Winfrey show. You want 3 points, you want 3 points, everyone can have 3 points, but it's different when they're at home. It is different when the champions fans are here. That game is next. Here are the coaches. I see it's a full squad. Let's talk about preparations then.
Yeah, it's been a good week because obviously the past 3 weeks, well, past month we've not trained and we've not done anything really. And this past 3 days we've actually had a training session, which, if I look back, it's been like June that we actually put a training session of that quality. And the results have not been good in the past 3 games, which is unlike Gor Mahia. As far as I'm concerned, that's gone, it's history. We've let that go and we've suffered. Well, I've suffered as a coach. And I've just said to the players now, you've got to make yourselves look responsible, look happy and enjoy today's occasion because it's been a long time coming. And I just hope that players now see it's a spectacle today for the supporters because the supporters have followed us through thick and thin. And that's what today is all about. It's about the supporters.
Let's talk about today's match and what the supporters expect. It's a victory that hasn't come by in a football match for Gor Mahia since the 2-0 victory over AFC Leopards. How do you approach this Mathare United side that is seemingly coming alive towards the end of the season?
It's tough. I mean, every game that we play, it doesn't matter what the opposition is, they always up their game. They don't want to be beat by Gor Mahia. And we've found, with obvious reasons, we found that the same case in the previous 3 games where we've not won. And today I've just said to the guys, look, this is important for your families, for you, for the club, for everybody involved with Gor Mahia. So today we've got to approach this game clever. It's hot, so we've got to make the ball move and make them work. And then once we do that, then we'll be able to punish them, as I know we can do. But I say football's a funny old game, as they say, and everybody expects the top teams to win the lower teams, and you see in the Premiership in England, it doesn't often work like that. So, I've picked my team today on what I've judged in the last 3 days training. Everybody was up for contention, as they're going to be in the next game on Wednesday against Zoo and the following game, the final game against Tusker, because we've got to prepare for Everton. And if they want to be in that squad for Everton game, they've got to come to the party today and the next 2 games, which they haven't done over the past month, again, through circumstances out with my control.
Thanks for your time, Coach, and the insight. All the best. Coach, 46 points, that's 7 more than last season. That's progress in terms of performance from Mathare United, but is it good enough progress according to you?
Of course, not good enough, because you also look at the difference between the champions and our position and the points, even though I might say that first you have to achieve what you had intended to. That's more important before you compare with the results of the other top teams, in front of you in the log. But with the points that we have, with the consistency in the squad and the development of the squad, I think, I can give them a 60% positive on this.
Speaking of positives and percentages, how much of a percentage improvement would you give to Job, who will have a big job to do, won't he, Ocheng, today?
I think it's already an evident document that sometimes with the young players, with some well-guided, he has gone through some the normal discovery in the trainings. So I think I'm expecting to see him. This is a big match. There's a lot of pressure, but he has already done 2 matches that I thought it was 2 matches which were very important. And this should be the 3rd match that he should even show his composure. I think he's young enough, and this should be the 4th match. He did very well in the last match, so I expect to see the progress. And that might give us another hope of another new keeper who might be coming on the stage in the future.
Thanks for your time, Coach. All the best.
Karibu.
the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. It will be the coronation stadium for Gor Mahia, who will be taking the trophy for this season's title. They will also be playing the penultimate match in the SportPesa Kenyan Premier League against Mathare United in what they would consider to be their backyard. Sweltering heat at the Kisumu Stadium. It's not even at 29. It's gone to 30 at the moment. And of course, there's very little wind speed at this point. Precipitation only at 37 degrees Celsius. So Gor Mahia will be crowned the champions of the SportPesa Premier League. And we will be witness to it at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu against Mathare United. They've had a string of losses that they were counting ever since they managed to take the league title with 6 matches to spare, but they've lost 3 of those ones. And they've won 2 at the back of that. They will be playing the penultimate one today, and we'll have one more game just before they wrap it up altogether. The fans obviously have already gone into a celebratory mood, and the choice of venue of Kisumu for this match makes it a befitting venue for the Gor Mahia side. A lot of stories have bedeviled Gor Mahia's recent performance in the SportPesa Premier League. And a lot has been said about non-payment of salaries, which the officials have discounted and said there was nothing like that, and that they had already paid everything. And so the expectation has been that they will perform better in a match like this one, even though they have not yet fully explained the 3 losses that they had earlier on. Some said it was due to lack of training, a couple of players just not having turned up for training, and others said there were other forces behind that. But all in all, today will be the day that they will be lifting the trophy. 4 out of 5 years in which they have done that. At the 17th altogether, Gor Mahia with an unassailable 71 points with, at that time, 6 matches to go. No one else could have reached them. Mathare have also solidified their place in the 2nd position. Nobody will get to 59. So Fabaka at least can't get to them. So the first 2 positions already determined. There's a battle at the ground there with Mathare United in the worst of situations as we come to the penultimate round of the SportPesa Premier League. 3 points, of course, make a very big difference for those who are only tied and also with just a difference of 1 point altogether. Their opponents obviously would make you know whether it's going to be a difficult one or not. So Fapaka will play Nakumat, and then Zoo will play Mathare United. Now that will be a very, very deep crunch match between the 2 sides. AFC Leopards and Ulinzi will be a test of the things that are going on at AFC Leopards side and also the things that are going on at the Ulinzi Stars side, who have been able to win some of the difficult ones and not been able to pick points in some others that was expected. But those are the fixtures for the matches that are being played today in the SportPesa Premier League. It's usually that day when you want the young ones to know and to often remember to say that they were there on the coronation day. That's why you bring them to the stadium as well. So the head-to-head would tell you that Gor Mahia is in the 1st position. They will be crowned champions. Mathare United in the 8th position. 32 games that Mathare have played. They've won 11, drawn 13, and lost 8. 46 points they have, with Gor Mahia at 71 points. At 31 games, they won 22, drew 5, and they lost 4. And out of the 4 that they lost, 3 have been the last consecutive ones where issues have bedeviled the club. But they're here as champions as well, and they will have to show a little bit of character in front of their home fans, and especially in a city that boasts very good following for Gor Mahia, and in a city in which its founders are said to have come from as well, and where the most fanatic of their fans will probably be found as well. Yep, they got in early to wait for the match and to exchange notes as well, but more importantly to say we were there on that day of the coronation. That will be the story of Gor Mahia and its fans, and especially in Kisumu. Sweltering heat, I tell you. It's gone up to about 31 degrees Celsius. You can actually smell the heat in the air. And you must remember as well that the field itself is an AstroTurf. Now that's components of rubber on it. So rubber on rubber. If you're going to be playing with rubber studs, you can be sure you're going to get the heat in the soles of the shoes. The heat doesn't seem to bother a lot of men and women who are here at the stadium. They'll look at just how big a day it's going to be. You must look back at Gor Mahia's performance in the last few years to just be able to know exactly where they are. And winning this one with 6 matches to spare could not be better than winning it unbeaten, which they achieved with the coach Frank Natal. But I tell you, a win is a win if you ask anybody who plays in the SportPesa Premier League, and they do appreciate it the same way that it is. So they opted to travel about 370 kilometers northwest of the capital city, Nairobi, into the lakeside city of Kisumu. And to see whether or not they can be able to fly the flag up the whole evening in celebration. It's no doubt that Gor Mahia will be celebrating this one. There's also a battle, of course, to try and see who's going to be getting the golden boot with Elvis Rupia, who left the Premier League, the SportPesa Premier League, at the halfway mark. Having scored 15 goals, and nobody has gotten to that up to now. Fans will expect to see exactly that in terms of a good performance. There's only about 3 people, or 2 if you'd like, who might be able to get to that. Michael Madoya, who has 13 goals, needs to score at least 3 goals in 2 matches remaining. Same as Jacques Tuisenge, who's got 13 goals as well. The rest who have 12 goals, Ezekiel Odera, Cliff Nyake, and Eric Kapaito, could also score to get there. That would mean being very consistent with scoring at least 2 goals in each match to be able to take the Golden Boot Award for this season. The other thing you might want to be discussing at the moment is that the Premier League season is going to be changing. This league ends in about 2 weekends, and after that there'll be a little break, and then the next season starts just before December, or just in the first week of December, in order to be able to come in to line it up with the international calendar. So much so that by the time the next league ends around August of next year, or July, then the new season can start in August, and already it will be in line with the international calendar. That has been the plan. It's going to be a very tiring time for players, but it will be a very good test as well of whether or not teams have the capability to be able to withstand it, and also to be able to feed into the main team from the junior teams as well. Well, you might just want to know as well if the Green Army will have recruited new members as well within that time. It will be 3 seasons with the same general, and with other lieutenants as well in the match. There will be need for some other people to come up through the ranks as well, just to be able to fill in for the big team that is Gor Mahia. Well, sadly, the spirited fight that Gor Mahia's arch-rivals FC Leopards put up faded a little bit in the games that have been played recently. I'm just imagining in this heat in Kisumu, having an outfit like the one that just walked past your screen would be suicidal. I mean, it's really, really hot, and to put yourself into something like that must be very difficult. This is that time to inculcate in the young ones exactly what it is like to be a soccer fan. And more recently, a video that captured my imagination was one of some medicine men of rival teams fighting it out on the field. One bringing his paraphernalia, the other one removing it from the goal area, and a fight ensued. I'm just wondering why they had to resort to blows. They could have just used the charms to get the better of each other. That's usually the unraveled story of medicine and football, and I'm not talking about conventional medicine here, in the traditional context, that is. Yep, the pictures to keep and to put in the album to remind you of the big day that you were there when Gor Mahia were crowned champions for the 17th time in the SportPesa Premier League.
Asante sana DJ, asante sana. Ukumbuke wale ambao wataruhusiwa kuingia kiwanjani.
Tunnel already prepared. The stadium announcement, of course, going on in the background. I was just trying to listen in on what's the announcement of the stadium, but I couldn't quite get it. It's something about those who have come into the stadium. Must be something special that is being lined up for them. We'll wait to see that. The Deputy Governor of Kisumu County, I do understand, is in the stadium. There was also a bigger expectation of more VIPs coming into the stadium. I think the real VIPs are the ones who are getting onto the field to get ready for this match. Plus, the assistant VIPs will be those who are sitting on the sides to watch the clubs fight out for 3 points from this one. And as is a tradition, then the Mathare United side will want to clap in Gor Mahia into the field. It usually is clapping out as well in other games, but yeah, you can always do it your own way. But Mathare United are mounting a guard of honor for the Gor Mahia side that has already won their 17th Premier League title by winning the 2018 SportPesa Premier League. So it is a guard of honor by the Mathare United side, congratulating them for the win. A sportsmanship gesture that is observed all around the world, that just says we recognize you as the champions, even though we have a match for you. And it's one of the finer things in a game of football, if you ask me as well. I am in the company of Jacob Gospelay to help me take you through the 90 minutes of this. But Jacob, this is one of the happiest moments if you're on the team that has already taken the league, isn't it?
I tell you, it's a very befitting moment for the Gor Mahia side. Of course, they won the league long time ago. It doesn't matter the games they've lost, but they've worked hard the whole year and what a way. And a team that has really given them problems in the league is giving them that guard of honor. And it's a nice thing for sure. And the feeling is so nice here for the Gor Mahia players. They deserve all these accolades.
Mathare United themselves have been there as well as champions in their very first attempt. They must have felt very good when this was happening to them.
Well, it was 2008 when Mathare last won the SportPesa Premier League, and Dylan Kerr has done it twice with Gor Mahia, so the history books will be talking about him, of course, having been just coming to Gor Mahia, won the first year in the league, and then have taken the second title.
He's actually done well to go on a high five with literally every player of the Mathare United side. Everybody wants to congratulate a winning coach as well. And he's one man who loves to put the stories that are being said about him behind him. He's complained before about social media and a lot of stuff that they were saying about him, but didn't seem to bother him a lot. He's back on the field with now the game that Gor Mahia is going to be playing against Mathare United, the penultimate game for them in the SportPesa Premier League. Here is a technical team sheet, just to find out exactly where they'll be playing now. Frederico Diambo, also known as Petro Diambo, is the man in goal. He's taken over from big names, including Boniface Oloche. Ziggy Imana is back, Shakava, and Onyango, and Rafael Asudi. And then the midfielders, Giorgio Diambo, Humphrey Mieno, Ernst Wendo, and of course Francisca Hata. Efren Guican comes back into the Gor Mahia side, together with Tuisenge, who's chasing the golden boot. He's short of 3 goals to be able to take over from Elvis Rupia. If he just does 2, he will have leveled it with Elvis Rupia. The center referee is a workshop manager in Nakuru, Mr. Davis Omweno. He will be assisted by, among others, the 4th official, Israel Mpaima, an accountant in the counties in Narok, and with Gilbert Cheriot as one of the assistants in this one, and Tony Kidia, I think. Mathare United love to play good midfield. Quick, short, crisp, fast passes is what they like to do. They've got a youngster in goal as well, Jobo Ching will be the man to keep goal for the Mathare United side. There's very seasoned James Situma, and then there is Oluwande Samuel, and Johnston Omurua, and then David Owino. Very experienced defense in there. But look at the midfield again with Cliff Nyakea, who's also chasing the golden boot. If he can get 3 goals in there, there is a Luanga who's going to be the out-and-out striker. But in between them, there's Roy Okal, Christian Oduor, Alphonse Donye, and John Mwangi in the Mathare United side. So the big question is who's going to be taking the 3 points out of this one on Coronation Day.
How was Spain? It was great. The locals are a bit mad. They go crazy for football.
And they do the weirdest things to bring their team good luck. Kids sign up as club members before they can even walk. They'd rather be late for a wedding than miss a game.
And you know what? They don't just watch the game. They feel it.
People cry when they lose, but they cry even more when they win.
The most incredible thing, it's totally contagious. It's like when you watch a match,
Hey, vamos amigo!
you become one of them. That can't be football. That's got to be something else.
Well, Francis Kahata is back into the midfield for the Gor Mahia side. There's been a couple of misses on the Gor Mahia team in the last matches they played. Today they're able to rotate the team again. Innocent Wafula is not on the tip sheet at all. Neither is Boniface Omondi. And Ernest Wendo is in the game together with Efren Guiken, who were on bench the last time. I think Karim Ziggy Imana as well was on the bench the last time, but he's in the first 11 today. In a game like this one, Jacob, that you're playing a team like Mathare United that has a former national team coach on their technical bench, do you parade your best or do you just parade an exhibition side for the exhibition before you take the trophy?
I think Gor Mahia is caught up in two aspects here because they've not won a game since the 25th of August when they beat Leopards in the derby. Now they've come at home and they are facing a Mathare side that has been stubborn. I think Daniel Kerr will like to erase all those memories. He wants to lift the trophy with the 3 points. So I think they want to both display and win this game.
It's going to be a very uphill task as well. Never mind the fact that Mathare is playing away from home, Gor Mahia is playing at home. That should give them a little bit of an advantage. It's in between celebration and also in between, you know, wanting to win at home. But you remember again some time back when Gor Mahia won the trophy and they picked it up at the Moi International Sports Centre, Kasarani. They had a similar difficult situation in which they didn't know whether to win the game or to just play exhibition. I think they played KCB that time, do you remember?
And they lost that game for
They
sure.
did.
Yes.
And they came in suits, all clad for the celebration.
Well, they came in style with a Cadillac. It wasn't big Cadillac, but they came in style for sure.
Yeah, they came in the London look, taxis, and into the stadium. But they didn't win the match. Let's get the conversation going at the official KPL. That's where Twitter handle is at. Talk about a little bit of what you think. Leave us a comment as well on our Facebook page. First cross coming in. It is deemed to have been an offside.
No, I think it's a handball.
And I think the flag was also up on the other side. But that's living dangerously. Yep, looks like a handball. Quite so easily there. That ball control by Crispin Odua has been adjudged to be faulty, and it's going to be a free kick that will be given to the Gor Mahia side. What about Mathare United? Coming into a game in which you have to clap the champions into the game, Jacob, and then after that you have to play them as well. The mental state that you put yourself in.
Well, from the lineup already, Kimanzi indicating that he's playing a little bit of defensive play. He has 5 men in the midfield. That shows you that he doesn't want to lose this game. He wants at least the worst he can do is a draw, but that's the big question. Can he be able to stop a different Gor Mahia side that comes into the picture today?
Well, Jojo Diambo is the man who floats it down onto the right side very accurately to Karim Ziggy Imana, who also brings it down. Kahata, and he was trying to get again Ziggy Imana, who recovers on time. It's Francis Kahata, had his move very easily read, but still manages to try and dash down on the right side. This is going to go out. Well, I think it's gone out for a corner, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first corner of the game here.
Oh, David Owino try to control it, but his left foot lets him down. It's the one that on the touch that sends it out for a corner for the Gor Mahia side. Just 2 minutes gone in this game. And I'm not even sure, Jacob, if we should ask what kind of formation they will be playing. I'm just very sure that it's going to be a very crowded midfield, both from Gor Mahia and from the Mathare United side.
Well, we have 9 men in the middle, 5 for Mathare, 4 for Gor Mahia. So with this kind of formation, Kimanzi trying to overcome Gor Mahia in terms of numbers in that midfield. He's pushed one of his strikers to play as a midfield, and I think that is where a lot of play will be concentrated on.
Mathare often do play a first game, but then the question will be about who's going to be first, especially on the AstroTurf. Jojo Diambo tries to sneak it through for Tuisenge, but it's picked up again. They lose it, the Mathare side, just at the edge of the penalty area. This is Mieno, tries a through ball. Oh, this will be a penalty. Oh, I think the flag is up for offside. Tuisenge was offside. He came in from the offside position, Jacob.
You're right, it was going to be a penalty if the flag had not gone up, because already you can see this is
it's already
offside, but from there that would have passed for a penalty.
Well, Tuisenge coming from the offside position with Davis Omweno, a man who's been officiating at the international level most recently. It was going to be difficult to beat him on that one. Another attempt at a through ball. The goalkeeper, Jobuchek, forced to come off the line to clear it. Shakava gets it to Ziggy Imana. The Burundian has been out of the field for long due to an injury, but they love his overlaps. Ziggy Imana tries to go around his marker. The ball defies him. Mathare then get a reprieve and will bring the ball into the midfield. Shakava. Has that a touch? It goes back to Mr. Owino, to Mr. Aloanga, one of the more experienced of the players on the Mathare United side, has turned up for KCB before, and has also laid stake for the golden boot, but he didn't get there. That has been judged to be offside. Cliff Nyakea, you've got to watch out for this youngster. He scores it on the double every time. He's got 12 goals so far. He's looking for a way of getting into the golden boot. And he knows that he must take his chance even in a game like this one, Jacob.
Well, a good run by Nyakea. He just left it a little bit early. But as you put it clearly, that is the man that Gor Mahia had to put taps on.
A foul is going to be on Efren Gwiken. He's got a penchant for injuries, this man. Has just come back from a long layoff. Back into the first 11 of the Gor Mahia side. Jojo Diambo doesn't seem to have lost anything at all. He's got the flair in him as well.
Well, not only George, I mean, from these first 5 minutes, this is the Gor Mahia that I saw last time playing against FC Leopards on the 25th of August, where they won by 2-0.
Well, this it's a team that also been playing in the Confederations Cup, minus a few of the other players as well. They had a very busy calendar this year. You've just reminded me of the stories we used to hear a long time back when we were kids. When you saw a good team, you were told that is Gor. And when they came in the second half and did even better, you were told now that is Mahia.
Well, that was in the 80s.
We believed that story, Jacob,
yes,
you know?
because they had Team Ayeko, they had National Watch Lule, Samuel Nyango, and the rest.
It was very awe-inspiring in those days. If only they could rekindle those moments. They've taken the Premier League 4 out of 5 times in the last attempts. And 17th overall. If you add that to the regional titles and the continental titles, Gor Mahia is still the most successful club in East Africa, especially in Kenya. Well, the most successful club in Kenya, of course. Mr. Jobuchek becomes part of the defensive play in Mathare United. An exciting match, you must say, that is being exhibited by the two clubs. Mathare in the 8th position from 32 matches with 49 points. And wanting to try and get an even better position if they win, Jacob, do they move slightly up, or do they just remain at the same position, Mathare United?
Well, if they win, they stay in the same position because they will be at position number 8, depending on the other teams how they play, because it also depends on the other results that we'll be having in different games.
Yeah, we do know that Mathare is currently 8th on the SportPesa Premier League table. And they've done well in the last 5 matches, haven't they?
Yes, they've done well. If they win this one, they will be the same points with Kariobangi Sharks, but the goal difference is not very favorable on them.
Gor Mahia has a massive plus 38 goal difference. Now, you can't quite compare it, can you, with what the Mathare United side has?
And Gor Mahia
has got Tuisenge on the ball. He's rounded the goalkeeper. This is the easiest goal that Tuisenge has scored so far. And Tuisenge gets his goal tally to 14 in the 9th minute of the game at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. The stadium erupts into a roar of approval for Tuisenge. Wow, we were busy enumerating for you, but look at that lob. Beats everybody, the defenders. He beats the goalkeeper as well. And on his left foot, he slides it past the last man into the net. And it's Gor Mahia 1, Mathare United 0 on Coronation Day at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu.
Well, very good composure by Tuisenge. He beats the goalkeeper, Cheng Job, and then he takes his time. He pushes in, and that gives Tuisenge 14 goals, just one short of the top scorer in the league, Elvis Rupia, who has 15.
That's a confirmation of the score, 1-0 through Jacques Tuisenge. But what a way in which it has been done as well. A lob over all the defenders, quite unexpectedly, and landing squarely at the feet of the Rwandese striker. It's 1-0 at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. And the drums have suddenly come to life as well, Jacob.
Well, I'll tell you, it is song and dance here at this Kisumu Stadium. And I will tell you, the noise is deafening, even it's getting into our headphones here. It's not easy.
You wouldn't like to be that drum at this moment. It's going to be beaten for as long as the scoreline remains like this. Giorgio Diabo picks it up again, and some space in the midfield. Guican, he has waylaid the defenders. The question will be whether that was offside, but he should see the footing of Guican. He made it look like it was going to come to the right side, then put it onto the left side. Here it is again, and Guican certainly lost everybody there. Tuisenge was just a little bit ahead of himself in this one, Jacob.
Well, an early run by Tuisenge, and you can understand Tuisenge is very motivated. He is looking at the golden boot, and that's why he's going to be all the time trying to make another goal, because if he scores a second goal, then he will be one of the joint top striker with Elvis Rupia.
Well, 3 offsides so far in this game. Then this will be given out for a throw-in. You and I know that it hadn't quite gone off the field of play, but nevertheless, the referee was on the other side. Gor Mahia will start the build-up from their side. They seem to have hastened the game up a bit as well. They've got Joash Onyango, one of the most unfortunate defenders on international football, if you ask me. He's in here for Gor Mahia as well, Joash.
Well, he was red-carded against USM Alger. He was red-carded against Ghana versus Harambee Stars. But now he's back again in that Gor Mahia squad.
When he was playing international, Guican will get the return ball that was intended to come from Hans Wendo, but Wendo did not give it out accurately as Guican was already in the run. It's Mathare who will start the build-up at the moment. Back to the goalkeeper, Jobo Ching. Sends it out to the right side. Johnson Omurwa is one of the men in the central defense for the Mathare United side. It's a good take in the midfield by John Mwangi. Not see him again, will be a foul.
Very skillful player, John Mwangi, has scored once for the Mathare United.
Yeah, fouled by Ernst Wendo in the midfield. I think Ernst just knew that if he lets this man go past, things are going to be different. Out on the right side to Crispin. Seemingly looking for an opening to use in the midfield. And also looking for how they can get it to Cliff Nyakea, who's come off his line. And this ball beats the goalkeeper, but then the turn doesn't put it in the net. It was going to be a difficult turn, and the flag goes up for offside as well. But Cliff Nyakea certainly was trying to put the goalkeeper in a difficult situation. The dummy from the midfield is what waylaid every defender, opened up the gap in that midfield, going towards the goalkeeper, forcing him to come out of his line, Jacob.
Well,
that dummy there.
Good play by Mathare United here, but look at what Frederick Odhiambo does. He comes out, he goes for the barrier and stops Nyakea from scoring, and that's why Frederick Odhiambo has taken the #1 jersey in the Gor Mahia side.
We'll say a lot about Frederick Odhiambo, but we must say a little about Cliff Nyakea. Second time that he's actually broken through that defense, Jacob, and was heading towards goal in this game.
Well, he's the top scorer at Mathare, 12 goals to his credit. He's a very young player, and I think, and I estimated that I think he's one of the youngsters that the national coach Sebastian Minya should be thinking about.
Yeah, Minya has a lot to think about, Jacob, but yes, I agree that Nyakea should be part of what he has to think about. Because Nyakea scored, and he's really fleet-footed. He's very fast off the blocks, and that's a quality sometimes you also need in players in the striking position. Aluanga attempts to catch him again. I think the flag had already gone up for an infringement here. Yep, that's the one.
Well, that should be a foul that should be carded. I don't know how the center referee missed this one. Dangerous play here.
I think he's penalized it. I think
yes,
this Paima has penalized it. Royal Carl is the guilty man here. And he gets a yellow card for that tackle. Remember the rule that, you know, if the advantage is not lost, play continues. That's the one. That was an obvious yellow card. In this heat as well, Jacob. That kind of thing can really injure you. I must remind you that I think it's a decision in this game that there's going to be a water break because of the temperatures that we are encountering in Kisumu. It's about 30 degrees Celsius. It will need a little bit of watering. Gor Mahia building it up. Well, Tuisenge is online with the defenders by the time he's taken off for that ball. And so he beats the entire defense line, rounds the goalkeeper, and slots it on the left foot for Gor Mahia. What a beauty of a goal, Jacob.
Well, I just love Tuisenge's composure. I mean, it's a very difficult ball to score, but his composure, beating the goalkeeper, and then the nerves to push it with his left foot is what makes Tuisenge value for money for Gor Mahia.
Free kick still being organized for the foul on George Odhiambo. That was committed by Royal Carl. It might just be Shakava wants to give it his entire might on the boot. But they've got other ways of doing it. George Odhiambo is equally close there. And Kahata as well is there. So you don't know exactly which direction he's going to go to. Kahata can take a hard shot if he wanted to, but it's Shakava who bunks it onto the wall. I think the flag is up. There must have been an infringement at that point that Wickard is complaining about. The graduate teacher, Gilbert Cheriot, is the one who caught the infringement. A free kick has been given to the Mathare United side. So far, Jacob, how would you say it's being played? Like a championship match?
Well, it is, and I tell you, Mathare has quality in the way they are starting their possession from the back. They've broken Gor Mahia twice, and I think Gor Mahia also, they have the hunger to win this game.
Again, this one was being put out for Jack Tuisenge, but it went too far ahead of him. Collected very quickly in the midfield. And that just means Mathare have got to watch out and keep possession as well. Otherwise, if they lose it close there, they're going to be punished. They're looking very dangerous and very good when they come up to the front. But for as long as they will not get there and it will be picked up in their half, Jacob, it's going to be difficult for them to win this one.
Well, Mathare is showing class also in the way they play this game. Situma, one of the most experienced players of that Mathare United side. He won the league with Sofapaka and Matano in 2009, and then won the league again with Tusker 2 years back. In fact, he won a double.
Rafael Asudi couldn't control that one. It went off the field. That's him again picking up the loose ball. A better clearance coming in from Omurua. But you can't clear from the opponent's half. You've got to control and pass if you're on that other side. A foul by Royal Carl again.
On Tuisenge.
On Tuisenge. This will be given to the Gor Mahia side. Frederick Odiabo did well to come out of his line. He denied Nyakea a chance to go to the ball. He's not yet in his line, and they're trying to pump the ball back. Nyakea then tried to go for it, but couldn't turn it towards goal. He was facing the other side. Would have been easier for him to stop it and probably look for another avenue to come back in.
Clever Odiambo, he was out of the penalty area and he went with his feet, because if he had handled it from there, that's a direct red card.
Weekend brings it back to Giorgio Diabo, who tries to go through the defense and then goes for a shot. That is blocked. This is going to be a foul. Will be for Mathare United. Royal Carl wants to hasten things up. I think they have a good plan to catch Gor Mahia on the break. This is going to be a foul. Clifford Luanga against Ernst Window. The referee obligingly giving it to the Gor Mahia side. I think Gor Mahia is trying to play their vintage game of slowing things down until they go into the attack, but it's just that they're finding a very fast-paced Mathare that wants to equalize and wants to equalize now.
Well, I'll tell you, Bernard, you're right. It's just that we're having two different kind of play.
Well, Mathare having it on the right side, trying to bring it across. Sigi Imana will pick it up. The clash of styles is what we are seeing as well here. Giorgio Diabo just chesting it down to Asudi. Well, it was once said recently that Gor Mahia were looking for a suitable replacement for the left back, but it seems like that in Rafael Asudi they might have just found a solution, Jacob.
You're right. For now, they have Asudi in that one, but already they have signed Batambuze from the Ugandan international to fill in Walusimbi's position there.
Shafiq Batambuze.
Yes, that is the man that they've already acquired.
There is a shot and a good one as well. Not on target, coming from the veteran Clifford Luanga. First shot on target, but not in goal, I meant, but on target.
A good shot here, and the steady Odiambo Frederick can go. Doesn't panic.
Oh, easily picked it up.
Good stop.
Just made sure that he had it in his line of vision. Throw in for Mathare United. Oh, just a lack of control from Clifford Luanga. And a little touch from Shakama that sends it off the field of play, making it a throw-in for the Mathare United side. Then immunity for Wino, and then Luanga trying to cut through. I think Luanga was angling for a goal kick. He didn't remember that he had the last touch on it. I'll tell you, it's also difficult to remember who was the last touch on the drums here, but you can only listen to the sound that is coming out of it. That might just fuel Dylan Kerr into giving other instructions on the field of play. 1-0 in favor of Gor Mahia. Jacques Tuisenge in the 9th minute of the game at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu on Coronation Day. Sigi Imana suddenly does get onto that one. It's a long one down on the right side, picked up by Efren Guikan, who's chained onto the right side of the attack. Tried to stick the ball to Giorgio Diabo, couldn't quite get him there. Aluanga, he tries to get it to Alphonse Ndonye. One of the men who've got very good touches from the Mathare United side, but we haven't seen him much in the game in this one, Jacob. Alphonse Ndonye.
Well, Ndonye has been very quiet in that midfield for Gor Mahia. I think for Mathare United, I think he's been overrode. And they have 5 men in the attack, in the midfield. But still, you can see more green shirts
Again, Nyakea. He had a good touch this time that needed him to go on his own. Decides to play to Donye. Second time that Mathare are coming very close to the Gor Mahia goal area, but only losing possession at the last touch. Kahata decides to veer back into the midfield. He was trying to get the return ball from Ernest Wendo, but Ernest couldn't match the speed of Kahata in getting the 1-2-3. This is Owino. David Owino tries a very difficult touch here. Tuisenge now. His last touch sends the ball too far out ahead. And Mathare will have possession now to build it up from their side. Back to the goalkeeper, Jobuching. And Oluwande. The men who've made a solid defense for the Mathare United side. The two youngsters, Johnston Omurwa and Samuel Oluwande. And of course, they have been coupled up by the very experienced James Situma. And the diminutive David Owino. Nyakea plays it into the midfield to Donye. He's looking out on the sides to see whether they can get some wing play. David Owino doesn't get it past Ziggy Imana. It's going to be a throw-in. It is for Mathare United. But again, Mathare picking it up. The attempted change does not work. Here is Kahata. Realizes that Odhiambo has got acres of space on the left side and uses it. Tuisenge is just out on the line. Odhiambo gives himself a through ball. The goalkeeper is so far off his line. Good idea that he plays it close to his defenders to start the build-up on the side. Well, I think Odhiambo must have been caught in that thought that Tuisenge has been offside so often. And so he decides not to give him that ball, but needed to get some space for himself, Jacob.
Well, he wanted to go on his own, and the goalkeeper did very well to read his intention.
This is a good 1-2-3 combination, and another one through for Quican, who's rounded the goalkeeper, but it's removed on the line. Quican took his good time, but what a relief for Mathare, as Oluwande just removes it from the line. The combination of passes from Kahata back to Kahata, then rounding it off onto the other side. Tuisenge putting Quican through, and Quican was pretty sure he had given the goalkeeper, he had beaten the goalkeeper, but he didn't think there was anybody else who was coming close there, Jacob.
Well, I'll tell you, everything said and done here, you have to look at Oluwande Samuel. Good piece of defending. When the keeper was beaten, he just went behind him, and what a save by Oluwande Samuel from Mathare United.
It resulted into a corner that Gor Mahia has taken, and Mathare want to come out for a quick break. Nyakea looking out. Donye was expecting this to come to him. It's back into the midfield. Kahata pulls it back to himself. This is Rafael Asudi. And then Giorgio Odhiambo. Tuisenge has been fed, but more on the flanks. He will look for a 45 cross if he can bring it. Leaves it to come off the left foot. It's too long. Chased by Humphrey Mieno, the midfielder that Gor Mahia acquired from Tusker, and has become a very integral part of that fulcrum in the midfield. Well, it's very hard to believe, Jacob, that Gor Mahia is still possessing this ball from the corner.
Well, good pace of display here by Gor Mahia. I told you they have two intentions here, to play good football and to win the game, because it's been a long time since we saw this kind of display from Gor Mahia. And they have a full squad, save for Asudi Rafael, who has been promoted to, you would say, the Gor Mahia first 11. And that's the youngster on the ball.
Can you still believe that Gor Mahia is keeping this position from the corner?
Well, they have had more than 20 touches of this ball since they took in that corner.
I think they're deciding to bring the pace down a bit. 56% ball possession is what they have. Now here is one man who doesn't want to slow down anything, because he's looking for a goal here. Tuisenge was looking for a return ball. Quican plays it up to the left. Then Kahata tries to drop it into the goal area. The goalkeeper, Mr. Jobucheng, will finally take it for the Mathare United side. This goes out. It's going to be a throw-in.
Well, the big question,
hit, I tell you.
The big question in this game is when Gor Mahia has possession, is when Mathare takes over the possession, how long are they going to stay with the ball? Because it looks like it's all possession for Gor Mahia.
Well, at the moment, I think they would be enjoying that possession as well because they've got a goal to credit. That makes it sweeter if they have possession. For Mathare, well, all possession must also lead towards trying to get a goal here. Aluanga feeds it down on the left side to John Mwangi. Accosted by Shakava. This is cut out for a corner. It's going to be for Mathare United. This man obviously doesn't have very good memories when he's playing internationals.
Well, good intention here by Nizigimana, but I think he was pushed off the ball by John Kamau.
He was from our side, you can see it. From the other side, the referee didn't see it. And he also tried to, you know, chest the ball, bring it down, pass it out quickly. This is Mathare looking for a chance to go for a shot at goals. Donye plays it to Royal Cow. Ultimately releases a shot. Goes out for a corner. It's going to be for Mathare United. Three corners only in this match.
Well, I show you it's a very highly technical and tactical game. We have had a lot of good display, both from Mathare and Gor Mahia, but Gor Mahia have a better ball possession in this game.
So Davis Onweno says, do not push, do not tug in there. Looks like it's going to be a left-footing swinger. It's a very low one, it's a very short corner as well. A second chance to bring in a bigger one. This is headed out for another corner. Safety first is what has been played here.
Pressure for Gor Mahia here. Mathare showing very good way of the set piece here.
And so they take it from the opposite side now. David Owino will be the man to take it. An outswinger on his left foot is most likely what he's going to be delivering. Goalkeeper is off his line and has a second touch on that ball that actually stops it from going into the net. It's a third corner. The pressure is on from Mathare United. Goalkeeper does well to have his arms in the air. That touches on the ball. Again, it is Owino who's going to be taking it. We don't have too many men in that box. It's a lot of green and a little of yellow that is probably approaching it just from the outside. Gor Mahia will pick it up again. They want to start a run here with Kahata looking for Tuisenge, who's on the outside left, quite can't get there. Kahata just loses his footing at that very important moment in which he was to deliver a pass either to the left side or to the right side. So it's going to be a foul here. Shakava, the captain and the guilty man on Yakea. Yeah,
It's obstruction.
Obstruction. Really just stopped him from moving at all. But look at what Peter did here. You know, he had a touch on that ball, but this second touch is actually the important one, Jacob.
Well, that's why he's Gor Mahia's #1 keeper at the moment. I mean, from one save to the next one in a couple of seconds.
Well, an attempt of some stylish play coming from Mathare United. Well, I think this has been given out for a foul, and we're going to have a water break now because of the heat in Kisumu. It was agreed that there would be a water break lasting 2 minutes, at least in the first half, and then there'll be another water break in the second half, in the 30th minute of the first half of it. The sweltering heat, Jacob, and on the AstroTurf, it's not an easy thing to play on with this kind of heat.
I'll tell you, I've been there during the just analyzing the game, and I had to remove my shoes, but it's very, very hot here in Kisumu.
So you had a shoe break then?
Yes.
But the coaches will obviously take that time as well to be able to talk a bit on what else they should change in this game, wouldn't they?
Well, definitely.
Well, it's 1-0 at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. Tuisenge, watch him on the left side. He's still online at the moment. He gets that delivery. And it's a judge to be onside. He was just on line with the defenders at the time of delivery. And he managed to release the ball faster than quick and deed in what would have been Gor Mahia's second goal, in a very, very similar move with the very same defender coming in to salvage the situation the second time. But the first time, he wasn't able to do it. The scoreline is still 1-0 at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. What would you say about the game, Jacob?
Well, I think it's a very well-balanced game. Mathare giving as much as they're getting, but Gor Mahia have already shown a lot of possession in this game. They're more composed, having scored early in the game, but they need to be extra careful because we've had Nyakea and also Alonga breaking in that back for Gor Mahia.
Well, the water break, I can tell you, wasn't just for the players as well. It's for the referees, the fourth officials. I tell you, the journalists covering this match as well, including the commentators, have had to go for a swig of water as well. The sweltering heat in Kisumu. The only people who don't seem to be affected by this sweltering heat, Jacob, are the people on the side stands with the drums and the singing and dancing.
Well, you don't blame them because they are celebrating the 2018 SportPesa Champions Gor Mahia. And they've done it in style. They won it long time ago with 6 games to spare.
Oh, Josh with a massively big delivery onto the right side. And Swendo then stops it. Ziggy Imano's beginning a run, wanting the feed to go to him. And suddenly knows exactly where to plant himself. Ziggy Imano actually then receives the ball. This is Mieno, and then Kahata, playing it all the way back to Josh. Shakava all the way back to the goalkeeper, Freddy Kodiabo. Another big boot by Shakava. Sets to Isenge running. Goalkeeper Jobuchim playing it back to his defender. And opening up to receive the ball further. You've got to get the better of a striker like that one to make sure that he doesn't get onto position. And that's the only way to do it. I think Mr. Omweno says there is an infringement. It's going to be a free kick that will be given to the Mathare United side. It's one of the men who just goes stealthily about his business in the field, Jacob. He doesn't have a lot of celebrations with his game, does he?
Well, have you heard about some people who are slow but sure? Then Mieno is one of those players.
Yeah, I had a friend, Jacob, who was slow to learn and sure to forget. Are you talking about those ones? Or here is Jojo Diabo, who's picked up a loose ball. Efren Guikan is opening up to Isenge as well. Odiabo, misses the target. He was caught in two minds, of course, whether to put it in the net or to give it to the two men who are open on the right side.
Well, I think it took a very good decision because everybody thought he was going to bring in a cross, even the goalkeeper. But I would say he was just unlucky. But look at that. He beat the keeper, he beat the defender, but he just couldn't go in.
We've seen goals being scored from moments like those ones. You've got to be close to that post there, just so that if it's not going to head to the post, you're there to have the last touch of that ball, Jacob, to put it in the net. Tuisenge should have been there as a striker.
Well, I think Tuisenge waited for that cross for too long, and he thought Blackberry was just going for goal.
Well, Gor Mahia missing another chance, and you would say that would have been the chance for a third clear goal for Gor Mahia. Yep, they've got to stop play because Johnson Omurwa actually bumped into Isenge and seems to have come off the worst. His goalkeeper, Jobu Chieng, sends the ball off the field of play. Here it is again. Isenge's trying to go up for this ball, decides to stop shot. Omurwa actually missed the entire the entire impact there. And seemed to have twisted something that is quickly recovered from. Now Gor Mahia will have to give the ball back to the Mathare United side in a sportsmanship gesture because the goalkeeper actually sent it out. Oh, it's bounced for the Mathare United side then. Royo Kala. Luanga tries to go to it. Mathare United will get the benefit of that because there was a foul on Luanga. I'm not too sure that Josh would want to get involved into any tackles with any of the players at about this time. He's had a torrid time internationally, in which he's been red carded twice in 2 games. In 2 international games, Jacob.
Well, Josh working hard for the Gor Mahia side. Yes, he's one of the most experienced players, but yes, he's not been very lucky in terms of cards. In 2 international games, he's been sent off.
Well, this time round, happy that he's not the one who's penalized for that. It's Rafael Asudi who actually concedes that foul, and Mathare will have a chance to show what they've been training for the set pieces. 2 men who are very adept at taking them are organizing how to take it. There's David Owino and there's Cliff Nyakea. And then they've put in a good number of men in yellow jerseys in the box as well, in the penalty area. Just about 6 of them there. This man already has 11 goals, 12 goals to his credit, Cliff Nyakea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yellow jerseys waiting for it. The first touch sends it on to the other side, but that's too much of energy to use in taking a shot from that corner. You could say it's a defender's curse, but certainly he was not going to get a goal that way, Jacob.
Well taken set piece here by Mathare, and then Oluwande is not able to turn it into a goal.
Francisca Harta just gets the better of everybody else by lifting the ball ahead of him. Here comes a crosser to Isenge. Again, caught in 2 minds with the goalkeeper coming off his line. He knows that he could have beaten him on a header, but then the ball doesn't go as close as he wanted to himself. He should have been heading it in this other direction. He didn't move in that far, Jacob, did he?
Well, you need to marvel at how Nizigimana picked him from the cross. He was hesitant, then he looked at Twisenge, then he fed him rightly on his head. But Twisenge, I think, as you said, he didn't know exactly what he wanted to do with that ball.
Twisenge, I think, currently grappling with whether or not to go in for the balls and risk being offside, or to watch out for the offside flag and go for a definite ball, and that is presenting a little bit of a confusion for him. The throw-in is for Mathare United. Cliff Nyakea trying to get onto it, but Josh and Answendo making sure they've removed it from the area. Now again to Isenge challenging for this one that comes from Oluwande. Mwangi with a good turn that gets him past Ziggy Imana. It's Owino. His shot is going directly towards goal. I think he wanted to bring across. Doesn't work out for him. They're trying to hasten the speed, Jacob, the Mathare United side. Is that a good tact in a game like this one?
Well, they know that the last 5 or so minutes of a game, a lot happens, and I think Kimanzi already instructing his charges to keep on playing, to look for an equalizer just before the break. And that's why you say they are pushing forward, but they run the risk of leaving the back 4.
Luanga with a touch that was intended for Nyakea, doesn't get to him. Asudi gets to it for Gor Mahia. Then Guikan has a little touch. Twisenge needs to watch out. Guikan does well to hold possession, because otherwise Twisenge was going to be in the offside position. But Guikan now plays to the gallery. He leaves the ball appealing to the referee for a foul. He doesn't get it. The Mathare side get the possession. They are out trying to get a goal. Nyakea trying to go for it. Luanga. I mean, they've got a man on the ground. Nanes Twendo sends the ball out for Nyakea to get some medical attention. Will be interesting to know exactly what happened to him, because he had already had an earlier touch on the ball, Nyakea, and then he sends the ball out on the other side. Seems like Asudi clipped him.
I don't think it was intentional.
Oh, this is Guikan, and
That's
then he
very
was
well.
pushed off. Left the ball there appealing. Play continues. He should have at least gotten to the ball first, shouldn't he, Jacob?
Well, he should, and Luade Samuel is a man that was shown dust from that area.
Like the way you put it, he was shown dust.
Yes.
This ball was given to Mathare United. They've sent it off the field of play. It's going to be back to Gor Mahia because they had possession by the time they were bringing the referee's attention to the injured player. Aluanga has picked up an easy one for Mathare United. Doesn't do much with it. Comes back into the midfield. And Omurwa plays it to Roy Okala. His scoreline is still at 1-0 in favor of Gor Mahia from the 9th minute goal scored by Tuisenge. As Kahata brings it to the midfield, tries to open it up for Tuisenge. Again, the through ball just falling short. David Owino gets it to Mwangi out on the right side. Too big a cross from Mwangi. Just evading everybody else and going out of the field for a goal kick. Aluanga looking frustrated at that, Jacob.
Well, I enjoy to watch Mathare United when they come to combination play up front. You have to marvel at Mwangi, John on the left side. I mean, bringing the cross to Aluanga, but not clearly on target.
Tuisenge has veered off onto the left side. Obviously needing support as he tries to break through the defenses for goal. He's got Guikan as the supporting striker on the Gor Mahia side. This is Junior Diambo. Gor Mahia running away with possession now at 56%. Every ball that you get will count. Mwangi is intended cross intercepted. Roy goes for a shot, takes a deflection. Ziggy Imana will calmly take it away to Shakava, then brings it to the center. Here is Tuisenge. He was looking for a return ball from Kahata, but that was very easily read. Didn't quite go anywhere else. It's Mathare will try to cut through with Donye, but it goes the hard route. Decides to go into a maze of green stockings. And doesn't find a way through that one. As Gor Mahia then remove it onto the left side, it's going to be a throw-in. And it's going to be for Mathare United. What do you think Dylan Kerr is thinking?
Well, he's just thinking that I shouldn't lose this one, even if the scoreline stays the same. I think he's also happy with his charges. I mean, it's a long time as a coach he was able to assemble a full squad like this one. So he's enjoying that Gor Mahia of August this year.
The vintage Gor Mahia.
Yes.
This is David Owino trying to get it to Mwangi. I think Mwangi went down and has not come back up from a tackle that made him lose the ball. The tackle having come from Kahata. I think now the ball goes out for at least some medical attention on Mr. John Mwangi.
I think it's Clifford Aluanga.
Oh, is it Aluanga then? Oh, there it is. And Kahata went hard into the ribcage, yes. For sure. This would have been a case of
should have been a foul, for sure. Yes. Should have called in for a foul on that one.
It's Aluanga, yes, who was injured in that. I think Aluanga will get some medical attention off the field of play. It masquerades as just a little normal contact in the game of football. But when you look at it closely, you see the elbow going into the rib cage. And I've often been told, Jacob, that any injuries to the rib cage are not easily visible, even to when you go for X-rays, you know. So you can never quite claim there was anything there.
Well, and also with the sweltering heat, that's why you see Aluanga just went down immediately.
Went down very easily as well. I think he's been allowed to come back onto the field of play. We're playing the final minute in regular time of the Gor Mahia versus Mathare United match on Coronation Day, where Gor Mahia is expected to pick up their 17th Premier League trophy, having won the SportPesa Premier League with 6 matches to spare, but having lost 3 of those ones. Then they're expected to perform better, at least in the remaining 2. It's Kahata, plays to Shakava. Back to Kahata, who then doesn't get the leeway to be able to bring this through. It's Mathare United getting a chance here. That will be a corner. Luanga is appealing for a penalty here, but he didn't even have the touch on the ball. He wasn't in a scoring position, Jacob. Did he have possession? He didn't.
Well, the big question is what did Joash Onyango do? Look at that, Joash Onyango.
He goes for the ball.
He just went for the ball directly. He had the ball.
Well, again on the reverse side, it looks like Joash tried to remove the ball from there. Luanga's feet were in there as well. He's had a very unfortunate time, Mr. Joash Onyango, in clearing issues like those ones. But the referee who was close by says it's going to be a corner. But if we argue that Luanga had the last touch, Jacob, then that should have been a goal kick. That's a shot that is deflected. And Gor Mahia managed to get it just outside of their area. The goalkeeper doesn't quite clear it. It's Jobo Chieng versus Guikan. Jobo Chieng sends it far off the field of play. Joash again brings it back to Jojo Diambo. We're playing 2 minutes of added time in this game. Kahata gets into Asudi. One of just the 2 times that we're seeing Asudi overlapping on that left side. Enjoying himself with some fancy footwork on the ball. The things you can only do if you know that halftime is close by, and the whistle goes for halftime. Gor Mahia leading this scoreline at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. 1-0. A 9th minute goal by Tuisenge. Here is that tackle again. And George seems to be going for the ball here.
Well, that's a penalty for sure, because Josh didn't get the ball for sure. That should have been awarded, and Luanga was fouled in that box. I mean, looking at it from the replays, is a clear penalty.
Well, it looks like it is Luanga who had possession of that moment, but it went out for a corner. It's halftime at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. Gor Mahia leading by 1-0. We'll see what happens in the second half.
How was Spain? It was great. The locals are a bit mad. They go crazy for football.
And they do the weirdest things to bring their team good luck. Kids sign up as club members before they can even walk. They'd rather be late for a wedding than miss a game.
And you know what? They don't just watch the game. They feel it.
People cry when they lose, but they cry even more when they win.
The most incredible thing, it's totally contagious. It's like when you watch a match.
Hey, vamos amigo!
You become one of them. That can't be football. That's got to be something else.
It's looking pretty good for the champions. Gor Mahia leading 1-0 courtesy of Jacques Tuyisenge, who is chasing that golden boot. He's a goal short, and his competition is pretty much no longer in the league. So it looks very, very likely that Tuyisenge, based on what we've seen in the first 45 minutes, could be in contention and possibly the winner of that golden boot. We'll get to that in just a second. First and foremost, Chipo here by my side. We've been watching this game from the sideline. We are impressed with what we've seen, but there also are some concerns. We'll jump to those concerns just now, but first, your thoughts on the first half?
No, I think Gor Mahia has come home. They're playing good football. It's a Gor Mahia that we are used to seeing, and they are doing a lot of attacking, despite the numerous chances they have missed at the goal there.
And it boils down to some key players, the likes of Kahata and their participation in this one. But during the build-up to this game, you pointed out, along with Ghost Mulay, that Jacques Tuyisenge is a must-deal-with player, a key player for Gor Mahia coming into the first half, and the goal shows us why.
He is a top striker at the moment, and it's good that he's scored a goal. I think Gor Mahia really missed his services for a very long time, and I do believe we see the goal that he scored. He was very composed after receiving it from a penetration pass from Asuza from the flank. The Mathare defense went up front. He received the ball. He was calm. He took the goalkeeper out and slotted the ball into the goal without any panic.
They tried to do the same a bit later on. I think it was Blackberry, but we'll get to that. And it's this goal pretty much defines what Gor Mahia have been from the start of the season. They are calm, they're collected, they know how to pick those spaces. They saw the high line of Mathare United. That long ball, well-timed run by Tuyisenge, bam.
It's true. If you look at the way Gor Mahia is playing, they have a bigger possession. The part of the possession is theirs. They are utilizing the ball nicely. They are circulating it nicely. And the passes in the last attacking third, they have been good.
They have been good. They have been great, to be honest. And there we go. There, slides it back into the back of the net to Tuyisenge. And this is what you're talking about. Just a small shimmy there, drops his shoulder, forces Job to commit. Ocheng is left with no job to do but to pick the ball from the back of his net. And that gives Gor Mahia that vital lead. Let's talk about Gor Mahia's keeper on the other side. It wasn't an easy day at the office for him. He also had to come up with the goods. This is a good example of a save that he needed to make.
He was very attentive. He was following the game nicely, because he saw his defense had put a high line, and he was already coming out of the line to come intercept the ball from Nyakia. And that's good goalkeeping from his pet.
We've seen him do this pretty much in the last few games of Gor Mahia, even in the Champions League. It's almost of a sort of sweeper-keeper, and this is the kind of keeper that Gor Mahia has been missing out on after, a few issues for Boniface.
To me, he's a modern goalkeeper. That is what modern football requires, that the goalkeeper most of the time plays as a last man when his defenses push a little bit upward. So he's doing the right things for his team at the moment.
There's another player you were talking about, Oluwande, and you were like, once or twice he didn't like his positioning, but ultimately he came up with a brilliant save off the line.
Actually, if you look at the goal that Tuyisenge scored, it was Oluwande who put him onside, because he thought he had put him offside, but he was onside.
Yep.
But he came up to make amends of it later on by doing a very fantastic save after Gwikan thought that he had already put the ball into the goal and he was going to celebrate. But Oluwande took one for the team.
Exactly, trying to do exactly what Tuyisenge did, but ultimately didn't. Oluwande will be very, very happy that he kept it at a respectable 1-0 deficit. It's a nifty, beautiful play from Kahata. This is just beautiful football to watch from the champions. That must be said.
That's what Gor Mahia has been known for, playing explicit football.
So there we go. We're seeing some of the key players. Kahata, Humphrey Mieno has been so dependable in that midfield, sitting a bit deeper than I'm used to seeing Humphrey, not venturing far, allowing the likes of Kahata to go forward. And it's great to have Kahata going forward, especially when you have the options of a tricky Blackberry, Giorgio Diabo on the flank. Wow, has he had a first half to remember.
He's had a very nice chance. Carter is playing on the right-hand side, but he's breaking to come into the midfield and to be a supplier of all those balls. But Blackberry had a very good chance. He took the ball, he dribbled, he ran down with it, he looked up for an alternative, then he decided to slot it into the goal. But I think Tuisenge should have made a follow-up to that ball.
I'm glad that you point that out, because we'll get to Isenge in just a second, and you say he should have made a follow-up. He should have found himself in a good position. Here, if you don't see it in the first instance, you'll see it again, what Chipo is talking about. Right here, he looks up one, he looks up again, and looks up a third time, literally opens his hands up like, where am I supposed to put it up? Sees no one, and then decides to go for the shot. That's what you were saying.
That is what I meant. That is exactly what he was looking for someone to pass the ball into. But he couldn't find a player in the target.
All right, question. Was this a penalty? Alwanga finds himself in the box. A very physical tackle, and I have questions that will be arising. In your opinion, was this a penalty?
Joash has been known for giving away penalties. But in the first instance, Alwanga should have scored the goal. I don't know what he was waiting for. That's a goal chance. And I think it was a tackle from behind. Despite that, Joash got the ball. So I think that was a penalty to me.
All right, so first and foremost, Chipo, coach, being the coach he is, looks at the mistake of the attacker. Yes, waits for the ball to sit almost perfectly for him. But then the question will be asked, did he get the ball first? No, he doesn't. Josh goes through Alwanga.
Did he get the ball?
Lucky.
He didn't get the ball. I don't think he got the ball. He didn't
Very
get the
lucky.
ball. He didn't get the ball. To me, I think that should have been a penalty.
Oh, Bueno didn't see it that way, and luckily for Gor Mahia, they go into the break leading by 1-0. Fair reflection of the game, looking at the numbers that are presented before us.
Yeah, if Gor Mahia uses its possession in the second half, I think we will have something different in the game. Gor Mahia need to cement the victory in this game by scoring another goal, and from their possession, I think they need to work towards it.
And looking at the shots and the shots on target, Mathare United haven't been sitting back. It's not been a case of one-way traffic. By no means has it been one-way traffic. You think that Mathare could score a goal? How important is the next goal then?
Well, seeing Mathare the way they are playing in the last 20 minutes, they've come into the game. They have improved a little bit in terms of their play in the attacking third. And I think maybe in the second half, if they remain consistent that way, they might get a chance to score a goal. They have created numerous chances, but it has not come to pass that they score. But I think they can score a goal.
For Dylan Carey, it's all about looking at the fitness of the player. So we'll get to his starting substitutions in a second. But for Kimanzi, it has to be getting back into this game. What changes would you have made? You know Kimanzi, he's thinking, you've worked together. What do you think he's going to do?
I think Kimanzi, considering Gor Mahia were not training effectively, I think he would make a change. Maybe introduce two strikers up front. Maybe bring in Klinsmann or Mulunga, who's a forceful striker and a very fast striker up front. Play two strikers, maybe get a defender outside, force a lot of attacking football to Gor Mahia, then look for a goal.
What about Gor Mahia? What do they bling in? I know where that bling came from back home. So what do you think about Gor Mahia? It's all about fresh legs, I guess.
Gor Mahia, they have fresh legs outside. They have Francis Mustafa, he's a seasoned striker. And I think they'll introduce him maybe to add the punch up front and look for the second goal and kill Mathare off.
Mathare United are desperate for this result. They have had a good run of results. A true draw against Tusker, and then they got a victory against Poster Rangers. Kimanzi is hopeful that the form will be carried into this particular game. It hasn't been the case in the first 45 minutes. The fans will be happy. Kimanzi won't be satisfied. We will be expectant, because the second half that could see exciting football is next. Catch it right here.
was Spain? It was great. The locals are a bit mad. They go crazy for football.
And they do the weirdest things to bring their team good luck. Kids sign up as club members before they can even walk. They'd rather be late for a wedding than miss a game.
And you know what? They don't just watch the game. They feel it.
People cry when they lose, but they cry even more when they win.
The most incredible thing, it's totally contagious. It's like when you watch a match.
Hey, vamos amigo!
You become one of them. That can't be football. That's got to be something else.
While we're waiting for the second half of the Gor Mahia versus Mathare United match that is being played on Coronation Day for Gor Mahia in the SportPesa Premier League. A day in which Gor Mahia will lift the SportPesa Premier League trophy for the 4th time in 5 years and for the 17th time in the league. The fans have come from far and wide to be able to see that day, the young and old as well. You learned these tricks earlier on in blowing a vuvuzela, and the congratulation messages are already out by the fans as well, but just their presence would be a congratulatory message in itself in coming to witness the day in which they lifted the 17th Premier League trophy. Scoreline at the moment is 1-0 in favour of Gor Mahia. A goal scored in the 9th minute by Jack Tuisenge. A lob over the defenders that got away from the Mathare United tall central defenders and landed at the feet of Jacques Tuisenge, rounding the goalkeeper and slotting it into the net. That was in the 9th minute. They've had 2 other chances in which they could have put the ball in the net. And Jacques Tuisenge and Giorgio Diambo are the men who will be asking themselves why they didn't change the scoreline when they had the chances to. So the question is, what will happen in the second half? Will Mathare United come in stronger? To try and get an equalizing goal, or will Gor Mahia then go ahead to solidify their lead in this game? Jacob, what changes would you have made if you were the coach of Gor Mahia?
Well, I don't think I would have made any changes at this stage of the game, because I think all players are playing well in the first 45 minutes. Neither would I make changes if I was Kimanzi, because I think it's been a very well-balanced game, save for the goal that makes the difference in this game now.
Well, so then you'd leave things as they are and play the same formation, the same, you know, have the same tactics that you did in the first half.
Well, I think in terms of tactic, both teams have managed to execute their tactical play very well, as Tuisenge will land in trouble there, for sure.
He'll get a yellow card for sure. I mean, that was just an obvious stomping on Mr. James Ituma. And it doesn't matter which way Tuisenge looks, it's a yellow card. He simply just stomped down on him. Mr. Omueno makes him know that that is a yellow card offence and that he shouldn't do that again. 2 yellows that we've had in this game so far. Tuisenge in the 46th minute. There was one earlier on. Royo Carlos, the guilty one. Tuisenge didn't need to stop his authority in this one. He starts up and you can see it going on to James Ituma. Now that can end careers at sometimes, Jacob.
He apologized to Situma. They shook hands in a gesture of sportsmanship.
So Gor Mahia with possession at the moment. They've got the fans rooting for them here at the stadium. You couldn't even say 99%. If there was any percentage at the stadium that is in support of Mathare United, it's probably very silent and just from the heart and not showing it out. No team jersey from the Mathare United side. This is the home, you would say, of Gor Mahia. And this goes to Mieno's hand. Gives away a free kick to Mathare United. got James Situma and Royal Carl here, and Situma looks like the man who's going to be taking it because Royal Carl doesn't look like he'd even be in a position to receive the pass if it came in his direction. Situma looking like he's going to go for power. Pumps it towards the goal area, but it veers off target. It's going to be a goal kick. It's going to be for the Gor Mahia side. He had the power behind it, didn't he?
Well, this man scored a very nice free kick against Cameroon when Harambee Stars played in Mathare Stadium. So I think he was trying the same trick on Freddy Kodiambo.
Well, Cameroon, talking about it, apart from being a very nice place to visit, you know, there's one town that I really would like to visit just because of the name of the town, Jacob.
Which one?
It's called Bobo Dioulasso.
Bobo Dioulasso. That's a tongue twister, man.
You should be somewhere there. Cameroon, recently the news because of the hosting of the Africa Cup of Nations. And yeah, again, the questions that are on the bounds of people, Jacob, is whether or not the host nation should be taking part in the qualifiers. What's your opinion on that one?
Well, I think it will be good because it gives them much fitness. Previously, we've seen host nation just staying idle. By the time the game starts, then they don't even understand their current form, and I think it's a good thing.
But if they were to qualify from those ones, and they did it, what would happen?
Well, I think as hosts, then the two teams in their group, if they win the group, then will qualify automatically.
Jacob, yeah, just confirm that Bobo Dioulasso is in Burkina Faso. Well, you know, they've got those very interesting names in Cameroon as well. The raging question about whether or not they should be taking part in qualifiers is one that is not over yet. And one that will not stop them from getting some very good experience in the marches to prepare for the Cup of Nations. A substitution here. Why do you think they would remove Luanga?
Well, I think he's in charge from that tackle from Joash just before the break of halftime, and Klinsmann Omulanga, the man they've loaned from Liberty Academy, has taken his place now.
In the 50th minute, they bring in Klinsmann Omulanga. I've got a friend who knows him very well.
Well, his father, a former Kenyan international, Wycliffe Anyango, who played for FC Leopards and also for Volcano.
Yeah, my friend told me all that. From Liberty Academy, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, the son of a former international, Klinsmann Omulanga, is in the game at the moment. I'll tell you about that friend of mine later on today. And they'll be bringing in some fresh legs into the game. Asudi is fouled, I believe. He was coming in from his position to try and take up the possession and seemed to have encountered a foot that trips him in there. Josh Onyango is the one who takes it. He tries to set up this jump to Isenge, but this rolls off the field of play. It's going to be a corner for Gor Mahia. James Omurwa just making sure that Isenge is not getting onto possession and that he can get in very easily. So the very first corner of the second half, which has started off more silently than what we had in the first half. I can tell you that it's not just the game that has toned down as well. The heat and the sun has also toned down. As here is Antonio trying to get the ball into the net. And the referee allows it. It's going to count. It's a goal for Gor Mahia. Well, Shakaba doesn't seem to be very keen on celebrating it. It must have knocked off from two people to get into the net. The goalkeeper suddenly looking like he's blaming himself. Giorgio Diambo brings it in. The first header sends it back. And then that turn by Mieno was intended for goal. And I'm not sure rather Shakaba has a touch on it. Well, it might have just changed a little direction. Shakaba will probably be celebrating it, if not Humphrey Mieno. We'll have to wait for the we'll have to wait for the closest look to be able to tell you exactly who scored it. Is there anything like sharing a goal in a game of football?
Never like that.
So Humphrey Mieno then will take the entire credit for it.
Humphrey Mieno is the scorer of the second Gor Mahia goal here.
He takes the entire hard shot that makes it 2-0 in favor of Gor Mahia. A 53rd minute goal from a corner. No wonder Shakava wasn't quite celebrating it. But it could have changed its direction if he wanted to as well. 2-0 at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. With Tuisenge chasing the golden boot. He needs to be the man who's going to be looking at how he can get himself to those positions where he can turn those passes, those crosses into the net. But then that makes it a little bit harder for Gor Mahia to climb this one today, Jacob.
Well, I think that one goal, the second goal has given Gor Mahia extra confidence in this one. And it means Mathare United have to work extra hard, maybe to be able to come back in the game.
So extra confidence versus extra hard work. Which one will probably lift the day? Tackled by Answendo. I think a foul has been given to Mathare United for it. And then out on the right, Situma tries to get Nyakea running for it. Cliff Nyakea doesn't take possession of that one. It's going to be a goal kick, but it's going to be for the Gor Mahia side. It's going to be a substitution here. This is Daniel Moura, another fleet-footed midfielder from the Mathare United side. He's replacing Alphonse Donye. He's not had a good game in this one. He's not been visible in this game, has he?
Well, have you ever heard a phrase that players disappeared in the game? Well, that is Alphonse Donye in this one. We didn't see so much of Alphonse Donye in the game. And it forces Kimanzi to make the second substitution, bringing in Moura Daniel.
Donye suddenly disappeared in the game, as Jacob says. We didn't see much of his touches. We saw him about 2 times in the game. Not enough, especially if you're an attacking midfielder. And Donye is known for very good touches of the game. Aneswedo will be penalized for a tackle on Royal Carl. He's exerting himself a little bit too much of the game at the moment. And also didn't need to put his foot there. You don't try those ones with a referee of the caliber of Davis Bueno, do you?
No, you don't.
He's going to penalize you because he's there, he's everywhere. And he's from the international stage as well. Well, that's a better take this time round by Ernest. This one's given to Tuisenge. He's got Nyakea to get through. Oh, he's been singled to be offside. Right from the halfway mark, the Mathare United side playing a very high line in this one. And I think where Tuisenge is also waiting for the ball from is working to his disadvantage. And that was surely a good call by the assistant. Maya starting the build-up from the back and onto the right side. Don't seem to have anyone on that side. It goes off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in.
Gor Mahia also have made a substitution. They've gotten Wikan out and incoming Samuel Onyango in jersey number 6.
It was a very silent, kind of substitution. But I think they need some punch up front and someone to couple to Tuisenge. That's why they bring in Samuel Onyango. This is a back pass to the goalkeeper. Plays it to his central defenders. Omurwa Johnson looks at the spaces that he's got and plays it out to, in more experienced, James Situma. This one is intercepted. Asudi to Mieno. That's the new man they've brought in the Gor Mahia side, Samuel Onyango. So at some point, we also believe that Francis Kahata totally disappeared in this second half, Jacob. So maybe Onyango will bring him back into the game.
Well, you're right. I've not seen Kahata in this second half for sure. As Mathare United dominate possession in the last 3 minutes.
Why do you think they brought out Guikan? Is it so that they can have someone to help stabilize the midfield, which has been run over by the Mathare United side?
Well, Guikan has been away from an injury for a long time. I don't think he has much fitness. That's why I think Dylan Kerr decided just to rest him.
It's Jojo Diabo really coming into the game. It's going to be a throw-in that will be given to Mathare United side. Francis Kimanzi and Sunny Mali, arguably some of the best coaches, best trained coaches in the SportPesa Premier League. On the other hand, the Gor Mahia side have got Dylan Kerr. Touch by David Owino. Not working to his advantage. Long ball down on the right side for Gor Mahia. The cross coming from Samuel. I think trying to chip the goalkeeper. And didn't get to Isenge. Samuel Onyango apologizes for that. Went too hard, didn't he?
You're right, because Isenge was in very good position. They should have fed him in a better way here.
What do you think they're thinking? The two men who've actually played for Mathare United as well, Francis Kimanzi and Salim Ali.
Well, I think they're just not sure why it is 2-0, because they're playing very good football. However, they've made 2 mistakes and they've been punished by that. So they are looking at Kanomulanga at least restore something for them.
Yakea marching onto possession right in front of Joash. Veers off into the midfield. He's got space on the left. They're looking for a cross to come from that side. Fancy footwork. Then the delivery not working well for Mathare United. And that's the part they've got to watch out for every time when you're going into an attack. You've got to be pretty sure about what you want. Just like now, Kahata was trying to get it to Isenge, who was giving up, while actually it was intended for Ernest Wendo. Down on the right side. Kahata, not too fast on his feet, and Omuro gets the better of him. This is Mathare United with Yakea trying to come out in full flight. And Waura will not keep the ball in play. But he was in a very good position. Very good footwork, very quick takeoff as well, Jacob, for Mathare United.
Well, a counter-attack that was pushed on the right side, but he just couldn't put the ball in play. I think Mathare having trouble with Situma James. Looks like
he's wiping something off his right cheek or the right eye. It's not looking very comfortable. Oh, that touch from Ernest Wendo. And players do this a lot, Jacob, is they're taking off, they leave everything behind, including nails and sharpened fingers as well. They don't just take it with them.
Well, that's why you can't play football with long nails. At least that's one of the things that the match officials check.
To make sure that your nails are well clipped.
Yes.
And there's no possibility of you putting in some fake nails as you get onto the field.
It's called grooming.
You know, we know that there are eyebrows that are added onto eyebrows, eyelashes added onto eyelashes, nails added onto nails as well. There's no possibility of that in a game of football.
No.
Situma suddenly was recovering from something that happened in an earlier incident. The ball had already gone off the field. It was a throw-in that was given to go by Sudi. It's already gone off the field of play. Mathare picking up possession. Yakea again is the man who has been fouled. Yeah, you heard Mr. Dylan Kerr calling Asudi very loudly, didn't you? You probably didn't know it was Asudi he was calling because he has to give it an English translation. So it sounds like Asudi. And he was telling him to clear the balls, actually, not to play around with it there, but just clear it forward. Because twice they've lost the ball in that side. That's Asudi again. Plays it nicely to Mieno and to Kahata. And trying to open it up for Jojo Diabo with Asudi overlapping. Jojo Diabo deciding to take it upon himself. He's got support from behind. Well, he doesn't play to Asudi, opts to give it to Kahata. But Asudi was close but has to run back to his position now.
Kerry is not happy to tell you. He's screaming at Blackberry because he had an opportunity to play that ball to Asudi, who had made an overlap run.
Yeah, Sudi was near there. I don't know why George didn't want to play him there. Little chip that sends it into the penalty area. I think the goalkeeper comes off to pick it up. This is coming a little bit abruptly for the Mathare United side. The captain didn't seem to live up to the expectation, Jacob. They didn't expect the ball to go in there, and when it went, they didn't know what to do with it there. Mathare making more inroads into the Gor Mahia side. Another one for Nyakea. He forces the goalkeeper into a stretch. That's all that it takes, a stretch to get the ball back. No one didn't trouble Mr. Freddy Godiabo at all earlier on, and this is similar to what Tuisenge had earlier, but the captain of his side did not quite react in time. He wanted to bring it onto his hand. That would have been a handball, and the moment you have an intention like that, your conscience already tells you you're going to do something wrong, so he couldn't have gone for it any other way.
Well, you're right, Bernard, and Shakaba did well, at least to be in a good place to head the ball.
All the way back to the goalkeeper, Mr. Jobo Cheng. Pressure forcing him to send the ball off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And it's going to be for the Mathare for Gor Mahia side. Giorgio Diabo getting off away from his markers, going on his left foot, cuts it back on a 45, but not too accurately to Tuisenge. Wasn't quite expecting it to come that way. Expected Giorgio Diabo to go on a full shot. But then again, as a striker, Jacob, you must expect anything, even just a rebound. Giorgio Diabo here could have unleashed a shot, but who is approaching from the right side? I think Tuisenge assumed that he was going to take a shot. He made a very good run. And it's also wrong for Tuisenge to assume. He should have been in good position. Oh, the two strikers, including Samuel Onyango, who's come into play, didn't go for that ball. And they will blame themselves again for that one. 2 goals for Gor Mahia. 53rd minute by Humphrey Mieno, and in the 9th minute by Jacques Tuisenge. Mathare wanting to use the left side, that has worked very well for them. Plays it back into the midfield. Tuisenge beginning a run on the right side. He would be expecting to get a return ball from Samuel Onyango. It's just the nature of the game in which Tuisenge plays a through ball down onto the right side, but not able to get past the goalkeeper. Onyango acknowledging Kahata's little touch, but which was very deep. Too deep for Onyango to come into cross-back, Jacob. Well, too much dosage from Kahata, but a good run from Onyango. This is Mathare's chance, well picked up, rounding up the goalkeeper, it's in the net. Lovely play by Mathare United, and a good run down on the right side, with the goalkeeper totally beaten in this one. The defender's not expecting it to go in there. And the cross coming from Daniel Moara, I think had already crossed the line. And he probably will take the credit for it. Nyakea is the one who realizes there's no defense on the Gor Mahia side. What a deep pass here. And Moara, actually, he will not take the credit. Well, it's a second half substitute, Mr. Klinsmann Omulanga, who has scored that one. It's Omulanga. Yes. Moara doing all the spade work, and Omulanga putting it in the net. And Mathare pull one back. Well, Mr. Omulanga scoring his second goal for Mathare this season. I told you I know a good friend who knows it very well, Jacob. Who told me that today, if he gets a chance, he's going to be getting a goal for himself as well. 67th minute goal for Klinsmann Omulanga. Pulls one back for the Mathare United side. And maybe that is what Gor Mahia also needs to sharpen his strikers up front. Tuisenge suddenly getting onto the ball. 67 minutes. Klinsmann Omulanga. Scoreline 2-1 now. Another deep ball forward. The goalkeeper, of course. coming off his line, and Ernest Wendo believing he should have gotten something better, but he had already released the ball by the time the tackle is coming to him. Nyakea and Mwaura down on the right side, which has worked for them. And when they want to use again, an attempt at a bicycle kick by Omulanga, this time not well timed. And the cross coming out. And the clearance sending it out of the field of play for a throw-in. Actually still in play. Now out for a throw-in, it's going to be for the Mathare United side.
Well, I think Mathare United have shown a lot of class in this game. Although Gor Mahia is leading by 2-1, I'm just thinking if that penalty went in, then the story would be different here.
They're getting ready to bring in Mustafa Francis into the game. Another striker into the Gor Mahia game. But I think Rafael Asuni was sitting down, intimating that he's got a little bit of discomfort. He hasn't said exactly where. But this is the one that Ernest Wendo was chasing. And Ernest had already cut the ball back by the time the goalkeeper bangs into him. Doesn't get anything for that trouble.
A collision of sorts with the keeper. You wouldn't say the keeper actually went to foul him.
There's a collision in that attempt to bring back a 45. Jobo Ching has had to parry off a lot of the attacks that were coming from the Gor Mahia strikers. The two sides now getting ready to make substitutions. I think Asudi is going to have to be stretched off the field of play as you've seen the Medics getting onto the field of play. The very first time that this is happening in this game today. Doesn't look very comfortable clutching onto the ice pack. It's not anything that we saw. Could just be something that has happened off the field, off the ball. It's the first time that we are having incidents like this one in the field of play. It's being strapped onto the stretcher. That means it's going to have to be replaced. And Gor Mahia, who are getting ready to bring in Francis Mustafa, might have to change it all together. This was a lovely through ball by Nyakea. Goalkeeper decided not to have a touch on it, and Mwaura rounding him up, brings it to Klinsmann Omulanga, who puts it into the net. Lovely ball play, but a very good move from the Mathare United side. The goalkeeper did not have a touch on that ball, making it easier for Mwaura and making it even easier for Klinsmann Omulanga. But I think it's time for substitutions as well. Ronald Regan will come into the field of play, and John Mwangi will rest. 70th-minute substitution by Mathare United. I think Gor Mahia might want to change their minds now that Rafael Asudi will be off the game. And if he's not going to be coming back, then it means that they're going to have to change even what they wanted to change. Because initially they wanted to make a substitution in the striking, but with a left back injured and probably not coming back into the game, they might have to look for a left back as a solution as well.
Well, I think they still have Momanyi Charles on that bench.
They've made only one substitution, haven't they?
Yes, they've had only one substitution in this game, and they still have two, so I think Mr. Kerr will make two substitutions in this one if Twisenge's injury is not serious.
Well, Twisenge goes down as well, and Dylan Kerr was making ready to substitute a player in the striking department. Now if Twisenge goes down, you wonder whether he's still going to make that substitution. We'll wait and see. Here it is again. Twisenge is going up for a header. He's got Situma just behind. Situma is pushing with his hand, brings him down. I think Twisenge also bangs himself down on the ground.
Well, you could see Situma supporting himself with Twisenge's shoulder, and he hit his head in the process.
They may have to make two substitutions then. But I know that they need to get one player in for the injured Rafael Asudi in that left back position. and then decide on the substitution that they wanted to make. Here is the first one then. It's Francis Mustafa who comes in. And he comes in place of Jacques Tuisenge. That's a striker for a striker. Pretty straight as a substitution. With Tuisenge having scored the first goal for Gor Mahia, he will not be adding his start in today. But I think then they have also substituted Giorgio Diambo. Now, yes. I don't think that Tuisenge will be a substitute. I think he's probably just getting medication off the field of play. I think they've substituted Giorgio Diambo for Charles Momani.
Yes, that's the substitution that has happened.
Quite interesting. A little bit of a confusion there because they had to decide who they wanted off the game. I must confirm now that Jacques Tuisenge has come back into the field of play. He wasn't substituted, but was walked off the field of play to get some medication. I think the coach decided now that the left back was injured, then they would bring in Francis Mustafa and also a left back.
Momani has also come in, and Blackberry has been substituted.
So they've exhausted their substitutions. And Giorgio Diambo is the man who's come off the field of play. Now the goalkeeper is also on the ground. I thought we were going to be having a water break in this second half as well. Haven't seen it yet. But the goalkeeper, that's where he gets injured. He wasn't part of that action there, but strikers land on his shoulder. Omulanga gets in there. He's a big boy by all standards. He's got a big physique as well. And bangs on to Frederico Diambo, sending him tumbling down. That's about to score the first goal for the Mathare United side. The scoreline is still at 2-1. And it is in favour of the Gor Mahia side. Daniel Moara, the new substitute on the Mathare United side, has suddenly made an impact in this game. The right side of attack for the Mathare United side has come to life, and they have used it to score that one goal that they have at the moment. This is Samuel Onyango picking it up in the midfield. The possession has fallen for Gor Mahia and reason for Mathare United, Jacob.
Well, they look good in the second half, this Mathare United side. They've made changes that have really pushed them in the way they are playing.
Cliff Nyakea, the man who delivered that killer through ball that resulted into a goal. Oh well. Totally missing the connection on that ball. Not a very good sight to see from David Owino as Gor Mahia tried to rush it down on the right flank. Samuel Onyango looking for where to take it to. Sneaks it through the two defenders and gets a return ball as well.
Obstruction here by Samuel Onyango. Free kick awarded to Mathare.
Yeah, but we're going to have a water break. I think that's what I was talking about in terms of when was it going to be. I think it's quarter to the end of the game, 15 minutes remaining. So again, the coaches will use this chance to give some instructions to the players. And the last quarter of the hour, Jacob, the 15 minutes remaining of the game will be really hard fought because new tactics will be given to these players when they go out to see the coaches.
You're right, Bernard, and I think this second half we have seen Mathare United rise to the occasion here. They've played a very different game after both coaches have substituted some of the players. Gor Mahia brought in 3 players, Mustafa Francis, Onyango Samuel, and now Momani Charles. So Mathare United, they brought in Chrisman Mulanga, Maora Daniel, and then Regan, but there's a pass that was...
Regan had some moments here, Jacob, and this...
How he missed the ball, I think, is something that is going to watch this and think, what was I thinking? But his left leg has let him down in that one.
The left leg has other ideas, Jacob. It's not coordinating with the right leg. It's defying him totally. He's trying to take a shot, but his left leg touches the ball first. So much so that when he's coming to shoot, he misses the entire thing. Very well officiated game, I must say, as well, with Mr. Davis Amweno at the center of it all, assisted by teacher Gilbert Chariot and Israel Paima as the fourth official. And the second assistant as well. They've done a very good job here in arbitrating this game. But now they've got some very important 15 minutes as well to be able to bring this successfully to an end, to see who takes the 3 points from this game. And the coronation ceremony then for Gor Mahia, who won the SportPesa Premier League with 6 matches to go, will begin immediately after we know who takes the 3 points. So the water break lasting 2 minutes already done, and we're back into the game. It's one of those rare moments in football, Jacob. We saw this in the Olympics, that was in the United States as well, where we had to take water breaks because of the humidity and the heat that was there. But 2 minutes of rest as well, what does it do to a game?
Well, it replenishes the players because the level of dehydration is too much here, and the heat is not a joke. And it's a very good break because in other circumstances a player can lose his mind for sure.
Oh, this was coming in from Ronald Reagan. I think it's been given out for a penalty. Something happened in there. We might not quite have seen very clearly.
There was a push on Omulanga.
Was it there? On this man, Klinsmann Omulanga. Here it is again, the cross coming in from Ronald Reagan on the right side. And Josh is the man here.
Look at that.
Josh gives away a penalty to Mathare. Nyakea puts it in the net. Nyakea scores his 13th goal of the season. And Mathare tie the game at 2-2 with just a few minutes remaining in regular time.
Well, this Mathare United side is a joy to watch for sure. Gor Mahia were leading by 2-0. Mathare United coming from behind, and that is the equalizer from Nyakea.
Well, he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Puts the ball into the net. This will put pressure, of course, on the Gor Mahia side, and especially for Joash Onyango. You know, he could have gotten red carded again for that as well.
You're very right, Mana. That is the kind of fouls that he commits in that ball. He's not been lucky in the last 2 games.
Well, I think sometimes he should just weigh the options and decide. He should have just let Omulanga go up the header and see whether or not he was going to make contact. But, you know, cutting him down on the ground has resulted into that penalty. And an eerie silence creeps into the Moi Stadium in Kisumu, with Gor Mahia having made 3 substitutions. The Mathare United side also have made 3 substitutions. The scoreline at 2-2. The game is now looking for a superstar. The cross comes from the right side. I think it's handled the ball in there. But danger is coming from Ronald Reagan and also from the man that they call Klinsmann Omulanga. At a time like this, when he has scored a goal, you notice only the Klinsmann name. The Omulanga one, you leave it for now. And then you have to be reminded that he's the son of Wycliffe Anyangu. Do you remember the FC Leopards player, former international as well? Yes, his son is doing it for Mathare United.
Well, Mathare has turned the heat on Gor Mahia here.
Yep.
Very good piece of technique from the Mathare United side.
Well, brilliant passing as well, accurately as well. And I've forced Gor Mahia to be the ones chasing the ball now. With 10 minutes, well, maybe 12 in regular time remaining. In a 2-minute water break. Nyakea was decided to turn provider for Mathare United. David Owen also comes into the picture. And now realizing that they're very close as well to taking at least a point off this match, the Mathare United side will enjoy themselves pushing the ball around, would they?
Well, they are a very good technical side. Young players who have matured with time here. They were leading the log in the first 5 games of the SportPesa Premier League. It's just that lack of experience has been their major undoing.
So it's pushed off the field of play. 56% ball possession. They still have the higher ball percentage possession. 12% higher than Gor Mahia. In this second half, they've dominated the possession, and it's worked for them. So Tuma plays it back into the midfield. David Owino has also come in to assist. Nice stop by the defenders, but they didn't quite keep possession as Gor Mahia tried to come out with it. Mustafa, in the first move in which he has possession, tries to go solo.
Well, where's Gor Mahia gone in this game, Bernard? I don't see Gor Mahia here at all.
Remember the story about Gor in the first half and Mahia in the second half? I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for. But yes, for some reason, they're being overrun now. A little bit of panic looks to have crept in. This is Josh. This time round, he's the one who has been fouled. But he's the one who's given out the penalty that has resulted into the second goal for Mathare United. Josh nudging Omulanga on the back. You do know that players will make a huge meal out of that when they get the opportunity. And so Omulanga succeeds in getting a penalty for the Mathare United side. Cross that comes off the left side. And headed back to the goalkeeper, Jumbo Chieng. He won't make any mistake about that. He'll be able to use it effectively for his side. Got that one very easily. Mathare starting off again on the left side. This is David Owino. They've got Nyakea on the ground. Owino delivers a very low one. It's not going to be of much trouble to the Gor Mahia defense. Into the midfield, pushed away by Mieno. Wendo cutting through the midfield, but then cutting just a little bit too far. Should have released at least a pass at that moment. It's going to be a foul here. It will be given to Gor Mahia with Omulanga, the guilty man. I think he's been penalized for handling the ball. Went to his hands at a time when Mathare looked like they were going to take advantage of the numbers in the midfield to move forward. It's Jumbo Chieng. Shakava from Gor Mahia. Trying to lump it forward to try and get Mustafa. Plays it to Wendo. Then Humphrey Mieno just doesn't keep it in his possession. Foul given to Mathare United and quickly taken as well. With Wendo becoming a little bit erratic in committing the fouls, especially in the midfield. Possession statistics will be in favor of the Mathare United side. We know.
Well, I think one of the things that are happening in this second half, Bernard, I think clearly the match fitness of Gor Mahia showing this game. They've not had a decent training session for a very long time. And Dylan Kerry clearly said that the only time they have had a decent session is this week. So you can see the fatigue levels are showing on the Gor Mahia side. They've faded away in the game.
Even though they've brought the big guns, the guns themselves are not performing to expectations.
Well, the fitness level is not respected for big guns. If you don't train, you don't train. And I think the toll is showing now.
So you're saying a pistol and a rifle, if they're not serviced, they will just look like ordinary guns. They won't function. They need to be at least, serviced to work better. This is out on the left to Josh, trying to make amends, brings the ball in, but it's cut off for a corner. Or is it for a throw-in, I beg your pardon, for Gor Mahia. This man has previously played for Sofapaka, played for FC Leopards as well, Tusker FC, and now at Mathare United. This push will be of no consequence to the attack of Gor Mahia. With just about 7 minutes in regular time remaining in this game. It's almost coronation time. But then again, there's something called the icing, especially when you have the cake. Twisenge is trying to put the icing on it. Turns back, and then finds support now on the right side. Here is a better cross coming into this game. Doesn't go into the net, it veers off onto the other side. And I think the flag was already up. There's one man who's in the offside position.
That's Kahata.
It's just too far out. No penalty will be given for that. Actually, the flag will be up for offside. There are those moments that always make you feel that something is going to change. And that Kahata moment was that moment. Josh has been venturing far out on the left more than before.
A foul on Mustafa.
What did he get? An elbow in the abdomen? Nyakea, I think, is probably the guilty man here. No, not Nyakea, but this must be Omurua. With that lashing out onto the face. Mustafa Sabbi is feeling it more than anything else. And yeah, Omurua will get a yellow card for it. It's the third yellow card in this game. So a yellow card has been dished out here. We've got just about 7 minutes of play remaining. 4, 5, 6 minutes actually, if you ask me, of play remaining in this game. And Joash was providing for Mustafa, who tried to challenge, but that hand of Omurua, you know, players will make it look like it was just part of his body and he's trying to move on. It keeps him at an arm's length, you know.
Well, that's a foul for sure, and that's dangerous play also from Omurua.
We've got, you know, maximum substitutions that have been done by both sides. So anybody who gets injured at the moment, Jacob, they cannot replace them in this game, can they?
Nope. So 87 minutes, just short 2.5 for normal time.
Mustafa getting some medication on the field. I don't know if the referee will insist that he gets the rest of the medication off the field of play. You can see that he's doesn't have his vision back. He's not seeing the direction very nicely, and he's going to be helped to walk off the field of play. Mustafa, who's just come in as a substitute in the 72nd minute of the game for Gor Mahia, has been walked off the field of play. So Gor Mahia will play one man less with about 4 minutes of regular time remaining in this game. And Kahata looking like the man will deliver it from the left side of the attack for Gor Mahia. That leaves Twisenge is about to go for it. And of course, the other green shots that have joined him in the penalty area will be angling for it as well. Oh, enough men veering forward. Got to wait a bit as Kahata brings it up. The goalkeeper has a touch on it. A second header is just a little bit too high. Goes over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick. This was not going to get the desired results, Jacob, was it?
Well, I think Kata did well, and the goalkeeper also, Puchieng Job, did well. But that header from Joash, nothing to shout about.
Trying to give it a very hard head. He probably headed it as hard as he usually tackles them in the penalty area. Well, the clock would tell you that you were playing the 90th minute of the game, but remember there was 2 minutes stoppage of the water break. That will be added to the game, plus any added time that should have been in the game as well. 2-2 is the scoreline from the Moi Stadium in Kisumu on Coronation Day for Gor Mahia, while they'll be lifting their 17th Premier League title after taking the SportPesa Premier League in the 2017 season. Yep, 4 minutes, and that would be like the 2 minutes of the stoppage time plus 2 minutes of the added time. A good estimation in my estimation.
Yes, you're right, Manat.
This is going to be a foul. George is pushing hard. He really wants to atone for what he did on this other side. But he should be careful it doesn't get him in deeper trouble, because he went on again too hard And yeah, he gets again penalized for that tackle on Daniel Moura. So it's going to be a free kick that will be given to the Mathare United side. I think Mathare will be very happy to take away a point from this game, Jacob.
Well, they've done well, Bernard. I should tell you, from 2 goals down to make it 2-2, that is a commendable performance. And they've done they've turned the hit around in the second half. They've really looked better than Gor Mahia.
I was wondering who turned the heat around, Jacob. There was so much heat in the first half.
It's Mathare who just turned it in the second half.
They didn't turn it to work for them then. And now they're controlling the game as well. They've had the back of possession in this second half. And now the question is, who can be a superstar and take 3 points out of this one? Oh, it's a mistake by the goalkeeper. With Mustafa Francis challenging for it, could have been that game changer. Jobu Chieng deciding to have 1 touch before clearing it. Predatory strikers would normally just latch on that. And that's what Mustafa almost does here. He almost blocks it into the net, but instead it goes off the field of play. What's your thought, Jacob, about the game so far?
Well, I'll say the result reflects this game. It's been a very well-balanced game. Gor Mahia controlled first half of this game. Mathare came in a very different side in the second half, and a draw would be a fair result for sure.
So another 2 minutes and then we'll find out whether that will be the fairest of all the results. Nyakea getting involved now. Oh, he's going to be penalized for a foul. Now everybody knows that if you have your hands flying all over the place, Mr. Omweno is going to penalize you for that. He turned nicely, but after that he's pushing, and this would be a professional foul. It's one of those that you don't notice, but it clips the ankles of Mr. Momanyi.
Yes.
Clever play, isn't it?
Clever play by Moura. He's the man who set up the second goal.
Just as clever as trying to hide from the headmaster and going through the fence, and he's already seen you from from a distance, because he got penalized by Mr. Omweno for that. I think judging by the demeanor of Jobu Chieng, he's quite happy about this draw, isn't he, Jacob?
Well, it's not easy coming from 2 goals down to equalize against the champions.
Oh, the champions themselves have lost 3 matches on the trot since attaining an unassailable 71 points in the Premier League, and effectively winning the SportPesa Premier League with 6 matches to spare. After that, the things went south, as we say. This is a foul. Roy Carl didn't feel very comfortable with that. It has been given to Mathare United. So you could say, well, but we would. It should be the other way around. We could have said that in a few minutes, the Gor Mahia side will be crowned champions, but we know that that will just be an official crowning. But you could say that in a few minutes, maybe Mathare United could have taken all the 3 points from this game. We've got seconds remaining in this game so far. Davis Omweno says it's going to be a foul that will be given to Mathare United. A lot of challenge here. Momanyi himself knowing that if he lets Moura go through, then there's going to be a little bit of a difficult situation there. So probably a last-ditch effort for Mathare United to try and take the 3 points from this game. They already have 1 in the bag. Gor Mahia has the other. But if they score, then Gor Mahia has to relinquish even theirs and add 1 to Mathare United to give them 3 altogether. On coronation day, Mathare decide for a very low shot, parried away by the goalkeeper. Brilliant eyesight coming from Frederick Odhiambo. And a brilliant dive by Frederick Odhiambo, sending the ball off the field of play. I think the whistle has gone for the end of the game. And what an explosive end for the young goalkeeper, Frederick Odhiambo, who salvages yet another point for Gor Mahia in one of the difficult situations. Gor Mahia 2 and Mathare United 2. It's full time at the Moi International Sports Centre, Kasarani. And now Gor Mahia will be lifting for the 4th time in 5 years the SportPesa Premier League trophy. Initially, It was a different trophy, but Gor Mahia won it 3 times in a row and kept it in their drawers. Now Dylan Kerr is going to lead them in picking up this brand new 12 kilograms brass trophy as the 2017 SportPesa Premier League champions. But the style in which it has been done as well is different, with a draw at least, not a loss. Gor Mahia 2, Mathare United 2. It's full time at the Moi Stadium in Kisumu. And we probably would have to look at this story as well in numbers to find out if they add up or not. The possession, we do know that in the second half went in favor of the Mathare United side. But what about the others, Jacob? Does this tell the story of the game?
Well, I think this is a very fair stats, judging from how the second half has been played here. Mathare has turned on everything in the second half with the substitution that Kimanzi has fronted there, bringing in Klinsmann Omulanga, who scored the first goal. Then, of course, the penalty by the second half substitute Daniel Maura it's actually Nyakea who scored his 13th goal. Did not give at all the chance to Odhiambo Frederick. But looking from those stats, they don't lie. Mathare had the better of the ball in the second half, and fouls committed. Gor Mahia had more fouls here. Shots on goal, 12 for Mathare United, a bit more ambitious in the second half.
Well done, Jacob. That the figures then do tell the story. But let's hear the coaches and hear what they say about this game. Chico Lawi has got them on the touchline.
Thanks, Bernard. Thanks, Ghost. As Bernard said right there, new trophy, same old story. Gor Mahia champions once again, albeit a bit of a dampened mood here at the Moi Stadium, as the fans who saw their team 2-0 up at 66 minutes saw 13 minutes of Mathare brilliance as they came back to a 4-2-all draw. We get the chance to speak to the Gor Mahia head coach. Kerr, what a performance from your boys. At least they came alive, didn't they? They came out, they played very, very well, and ultimately the result may not have been in their favor, but some things to look forward to. Kahata, Mieno's brilliant performances.
Yeah, but 2-0 up, you should kill the game. You know, we've conceded 2 goals from their back corner. You know, and they've made 3 passes. The first goal, we've got a young lad playing at full-back, and he'll learn from that. He'll learn from that, and he's been brilliant in the last 2 games. But the second goal, I mean, what's Josh thinking? I mean, the guy's not even going to head it, and he pushes him. I mean, of course he's going to give a penalty.
It's not the first instance where a penalty could have been given against Josh. Was that the reasoning from removing him from the center of defense and taking him a bit wider?
No, I mean, look, he's an experienced player. We put him at left back because I had to make the young boy come off because he's injured. And then he thinks he's a left midfielder, and he gets caught out of position, he's chasing back, and he makes the error of pushing him. But it's good that we got a point, but it's bad that we got a point because we should have had 3 points. They've had 2 shots and scored 2 goals. And there's going to be a big sweeping brush coming through this club, and there's going to be a lot of people shocked because I'm not happy. I'm not happy with their attitude of what's happened with the club. I'm not happy with the club for what they've done with the salaries. But they're hurting me, they're hurting the coach. And if that comes to the case, I either stay or the chairman fires me. That's the simple thing of it. Because I've got standards, I've got beliefs, I've got ethics on how the game of football should be played. And if you've got what Mathare had today, which was heart and fight and desire, which we should have had that because we're champions. We should be here celebrating, giving the fans something to celebrate. And we didn't do that today. We played well. We should have scored 3 goals in the first half. We didn't. I've made substitutions. I brought Samuel on, just doesn't do it. You've got to make an impact as a substitute. Do something. Show me something that you want to play. And we didn't do that today, especially in the second half. We were lacklustre, whether it's the end of the season, whether the celebrations. And I'd like to say to the Kigalo fans, thank you for turning out today in the numbers, because without you guys, this football club wouldn't exist. It's all about you, the fans.
I have one quick question, Coach. I know we're running out of time, but very quickly, from what you saw today, from what you saw from your players, how many would be going to Everton? How many would actually be at Gor Mahia next season?
Well, we've got 2 games. We've got a game on Wednesday, game on Sunday. The players now, they're all. It's up to me who wants to go and who goes on the bench. We've got a squad of 18 to pick, not 27 like we had in Tanzania. Got a squad of 18. Today, some of them might not play on that game. People think they've got the right to play. Not in my life. You know, my job is to pick the best team to win the game. Today, I thought I did pick the best team to win the game. We're 2-0 up. Game should be over, but we don't. We fall down. We back off. We're not professional. That's the word today. We're not professional. Professional people shut the shop up. 2-0, go home, champions. 2-2, it's a point, but fair play to Mathare. They kept going.
Silver lining, congratulations, you're champion.
Era Commando, sir.
All right, Coach Dylan Carr there. You heard him yourself, didn't you? He is absolutely furious with the lack of professionalism shown by the players. That is a disappointed coach. What about you, Coach Francis Kimanzi? What a performance from the second half. An hour into the game, Mathare just came alive.
I think first of all, we started the game. And I can imagine it's a very tough schedule because 3 matches in 12 days. It's very heavy because you don't have an opportunity to rotate the squad largely. And I anticipated some fatigue, and it really, that's why we had quite a slow start. But towards the end of the game, I think we really enjoyed it, which was okay. So I think it is 1 point for us against the champion. With the performance that we showed, not 100%, very aggressive. I think, we deserved a point at least.
Hey, Coach, not an instant reaction in terms of changing after the first half. You were patient. We expected a quick change. You were patient, but something changed tactically. What did you change in the second half?
I think sometimes you must wait for the moment. And the moment, mostly 15, 20 minutes before the end of the game, is a very special moment in football. Especially when you have players who have mobility, who have technically, who are very sound. And I knew that we had those players around us, so I'm very happy. At least they were able to cope with the situation during the last hour of the game. Very important minutes of the game.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Congratulations on that well-earned point, and all the best in the remaining games of the fixtures. Why don't we cross over to commentary? Ghost and Bernard standing by to take us through the ceremony presentation of the champions, Gor Mahia. Ghost, Bernard.
Well, thank you very much. Then they're already getting onto the podium on the other side to receive the medals. But first of all, of course, the VIPs will be the ones to get there to give it. It's been very quickly assembled on the field of play and very well organized as well. No pitch invasion, nobody who's not supposed to be on the field being on the field. Well, the trophy's on the left side, just left lower side of your picture. A 12-kilogram brass trophy that will be given to the 2017-2018 SportPesa Premier League champion, Gor Mahia. Winning it with 6 marches to spare, Jacob. Kind of also takes a little bit of the fanfare away from it, as if different from if you had won it in the very last minute.
No, it doesn't matter, Bernard. When you win the trophy with 6 games to spare, it doesn't motivate you to play the rest of the games. But as Dylan Kerr has said, as a professional, you play up to the last one. Of course, they've had their own internal problems, financial issues, but they've displayed what made them win this trophy. They've worked hard in all those games that they played, and also they had a very good run in continental football, so it's still a force to reckon with.
Well, Gor Mahia fans will be drumming, of course, for their team that will take the trophy here, because the Mathare United side will not come for anything. They were not playing for first and second. This is a league that was won with 6 matches to spare by the Gor Mahia side. So Mathare were playing it as a Premier League match, and they've taken a point from it. That's what they will be celebrating. All this jingling and drumming is for the trophy itself of the SportPesa Premier League. And riding it here as well is the former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, to present it to the the 2018 SportPesa Premier League winners, Gor Mahia. We're just waiting for, of course, the protocol to be properly done here. This is going to be a Gor Mahia moment for sure. There's nobody else who's going to come out to that podium, Jacob. It's only Gor Mahia that will be able to take the medals and the trophy as well.
They are the champions and they deserve this. So the youngster George Omondi, who has done very well for the Gor Mahia side during the season.
I think it is on a podium like this that you see every player that belongs to a team, because even those who didn't play get their medals as well. Even the officials do get their medals from there. And the fans grow beards just watching the niceties on the field of play. So for Boniface Omondi, we've just seen him on the podium there. We've seen Tuisenga as well. There's going to be everybody that you have seen play for Gor Mahia, Bomanyi, Bernardo Ndiek as well is in there. And the Deputy Governor of Kisumu County, I think, is the one who is also representing the Governor in the presence of the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Yep, you get the energy to beat the drums, Jacob, if you are the SportPesa Premier League champion.
Well, nothing stops you from that energy, because these drums, I think, will beat until early hours of tomorrow morning as they celebrate their 17th title in the SportPesa Premier League. Kevin Omondi
is a returnee to the team, isn't
exactly.
he? He left the team. And a man in the middle field of it all, that's a maestro, Francis Kahata, who's really made it happen, especially for the Gor Mahia side in the midfield.
Well, you're right, and Blackberry Odhiambo getting his medal from his chairman, Mr. Ambrose Rachier.
Johnny Odhiambo reinvented himself into the Gor Mahia side after he went professional, disappeared for a little while, and then came back into Gor Mahia.
And he had a very good game this afternoon also. We saw some of his prowess in the one-against-one situation.
So I think with just the injury of Rafael Asudi in the left back, forced a technical change that was not previously intended, but which still worked to the favor of the Gor Mahia side. The big moment obviously will be when the big trophy is lifted, and that is obviously usually the reserve of the captain. So you should expect the captain, Shakava, to be the last one getting onto the podium to get his medal. Anonymous beings will be watching him as well, Jacob.
Well, they don't have the Gor Mahia colors,
no,
but they are
don't.
here to support Gor Mahia.
Inside, there must be the green and white, somewhere inside there. It's all joy and happiness for Gor Mahia, 17th Premier League title that they will be lifting. And a lot of history will go with that as well, on what they have done.
Well,
the 2018 Premier League is being congratulated, the Gor Mahia side. I was going to tell you that the 2018 Premier League was the 14th season of the Kenyan Premier League since it started in 2003. But it is the 54th season of top division football since 1963. And Gor Mahia will be lifting the title for the 17th time and the 4th in 5 years. Now, how is that for a record of winners, Jacob?
Well, Gor Mahia, or the mighty Gor Mahia, and that is a trophy that will be handed to the captain of the side, Aaron Shakava.
12 kilograms of brass is what there is in there, Jacob.
Well, that's too heavy for me to carry.
Not when you win it. When you win it, it becomes lighter to carry it. And Gor Mahia, who have now won the Premier League 16 times, have won the President's Cup 10 times, the Super Cup 3 times, and the Top 8 title 2 times, adding to their national total of 32 now, 31 previously. When you talk about the Sekafa, they've won it 5 times, and the Cup Winners' Cup 1 time. It brings their African total to 6. But this is that moment when they have to bring their national total higher to 31 in total. It's of course passing through the protocol until it gets to the one who will be presenting it to the captain, and the captain lifting it on behalf of course, the team. So Shakava receives it from Raila Amolo Odinga, the Honorable former Right Prime Minister, and the 2018 SportPesa Premier League champions, Gor Mahia, defending successfully their title and making it 17 in total in the Kenyan Premier League. The 32nd trophy in total in national competition of football. obviously everybody will want to take a taste of it, to take a little selfie with it as well, to lift it up. Jacob, this is that crowning moment in a game of football. The crowning moment for a coach, the crowning moment for a player or for anybody.
Well, I'll tell you, the feeling, you cannot even express how these players feel. They've worked hard so much in the year. They've been unbeaten until they won this league. And the only team that upset the form book was Bandari. But after that, they recovered to win it on the 25th of August against their nemesis AFC Leopards at Kasarani. They beat them by 2-0, and that is where they sealed this trophy.
So they won the Mashemeji Derby and won the league with that game as well, and won it with the second Gor Mahia, not even the first one. But more, they also get the prize money that comes with the SportPesa Premier League.
Well, I'll tell you, not only the trophy, they will also be rich in terms of money for being the champions of the 2018 SportPesa Premier League.
And they'll also be traveling to Everton, remember?
And also a right to represent Kenya in the Cup Confederations, the Cup Champions League next year.
So again, they're going to have their cup full coming into competition for the next season. And now with the harmonizing of the calendar into the European calendar as well, it's going to be a very difficult time for the champions. It's going to be a very difficult time for all the clubs as well, Jacob.
Well, it's going to be a very short break from the league. Gor Mahia, they wrap it up on Sunday. Then after that, there will be a short break. They won't break for sure because they will be heading to Everton. But after Everton again, the league will start in December.
And after that, they have to start preparing for Champions League as well.
Well, their calendar is full.
And the new SportPesa Premier League will also be starting
in December,
which will be vigorous and which will end somewhere just before
July.
August. And then they have to start again the Premier League just after July in August.
Well, the good thing, they have the squad to do that. The SportPesa Premier League allows you to register 30 players, and I think Gor Mahia already, they have started their recruitment for next season.
Well, it's a moment of crowning, and a moment of glory, and a moment of celebration as well. And Dylan Kerr has joined some of his best players as well on the field. And congratulations as well to Gor Mahia for retaining the title and for winning the 17th Premier League title by winning the 2017-2018 SportPesa Champions, Gor Mahia.
How was Spain? It was great. The locals are a bit mad. They go crazy for football.
And they do the weirdest things to bring their team good luck. Kids sign up as club members before they can even walk. They'd rather be late for a wedding than miss a game.
And you know what? They don't just watch the game. They feel it.
People cry when they lose, but they cry even more when they win.
The most incredible thing, it's totally contagious. It's like when you watch a match.
Hey, vamos amigo!
You become one of them. That can't be football. That's got to be something else.